All right, and we're back, and we're here. We're unmuted.
And we're
doing
cool.
things.
Phenomenal.
The jelly spoons can hear us?
Aren't we the jelly spoons? I'm confused.
Look, there's a lot of jelly. There's a lot of spoons. Things are shaking. They're jiggling. Just go with
As
it.
long
I hate that.
I think the
All right.
viewers are
So
jelly.
far, Travis's fears. Number 1, weird things in the ocean. Number 2, the ocean. 3, spoons. 4, jelly. 5, jelly spoons.
It's like heights in, but like that's like the mildest of. I wouldn't even say fears. It's just disdain.
Can I?
Is it
Can I
is
get-
it specifically jelly spoons, or is it all aspects in spoons?
It's specifically jelly spoons because you have scooped up a jelly and then just left it on there. Like that's
Yeah.
Who does
mean-
this? You're a monster.
You know, I need to know. I need to know, Travis. What levels of disdain here? Like, what's really number 1? What's really number 2? Or did John Eric put all of those in the correct order?
like the fears. The first 2 absolutely correct, followed by heights. Then it shifts to mild disdain, to growing disdain, to absolute disdain.
Wait.
Um,
So you're afraid of the ocean and heights?
yeah, fuck me, right?
Height,
Hey,
depth.
Hey, wait. Hold on.
So
I-
just to clarify,
I'm
if you
with
were
Travis
standing
on
on the edge
this.
of a trench in the ocean, that would be the end of it. You'd be like, "No, I'm out."
You're like,
I'm out,
well,
I'm done.
this is
Kill
where
me."
I die because I ain't moving.
I mean, like,
So
I was born on ground. Maybe I should stay there for the most part.
what you're saying is clifftop views of the ocean do absolutely nothing for you.
I don't even get close enough to even think about it.
Why would you? Why would you do that?
Hey, you know what could happen? A lot of bad things. You know
Uh-huh.
what doesn't happen? Staying away from those things that could cause bad things. And that's how I live my life.
Mm-hmm.
In a way,
See,
it's sort of like he avoids things that he should avoid. Noah.
yeah, funny enough, Noah, I avoid things I particularly should avoid.
I don't know what you gentlemen are talking about.
Noah.
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 Lord,
What we're
it's gonna
trying
be
to
like
say,
this.
Noah, is that Travis avoids you.
I don't know what this is. I just saw it on the map, but Death's Finger Channel sounds like a pretty great place to adventure.
It does not.
No, no.
We
So-
just finished a discussion.
So next adventure segment, underwater theme, yeah.
You know what sounds really good? Not playing this game.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad we did that.
Jeez.
That was fun.
Wow.
That's how you kill a player real fast.
Well,
That's
I
what
guess
John
put him in the catapult.
John Eric's eventual goal is to just drive everybody out of the game.
Eventual?
Danielle keeps telling me that when I die, I'm going to get cremated. And I keep telling her that when I die, my will like say that I am to be yeeted via catapult into the ocean. Like that's what I want my funeral to be, is just everybody just kind of like
He's
making
about 50 meters out there now.
everybody making bets, and then like some priest just going like, and may he rest wherever he lands, and then just just launch me straight into the water.
I think I would be very sad to be at your funeral, but the inevitable ragdoll physics of you just like sailing through the air will get a chuckle from me. It will be inevitable.
I'm just imagining Travis like
You get tears, I'll be like, you
trying
won't
to
know
think-
if I'm laughing or crying.
oh god, he lost a shoe.
I'm trying to think what word a lawyer would use for yeet.
To be delivered via
To be delivered via
to be delivered to his
catapult
final resting
with-
place via
with haste.
trebuchet.
with haste and a sense of urgency.
That's
Wherever he falls, there shall he be buried. Unless it's a pretty high tide, and then, well, he'll come back.
yeah.
20
He'll
bucks
be
on the
back.
ship.
Ooh, try to hit it.
That would be what a bad day for that boat.
All right, kids, you ready for your first trip out?
Maybe we'll see some whales. Boom.
It's a fucking paddle boat.
What I love is I just see like I know this is movie magic, but the entire way sailing through, John Eric just has a notable sense of peace on his face, and it's just like you hear the serene music, and then just that, and it's all bad.
People
Oh,
people panicking
Children
and running
screaming.
around. One guy stands up, just starts shouting, gets pegged in the head with a shoe.
That's some hang time on that shoe right there.
I mean, what a way to go! That is that is grim, dark, and funny all at the same time.
I need to breathe. I need to breathe.
It's not it's not explicitly spiteful enough for John Eric. I just need to. I feel the need to call this out. Like, if you're not actively rubbing his ashes in somebody's eyes, is it really his funeral?
I want
I mean,
it to be like released directly in front of a fan during the Olympics.
See, now we're getting there. Now we're getting there.
There's
we're
a
not there yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's closer.
John, the Olympics aren't for 4 years. We got a hell of a wait. And customs, your body's
Okay,
not gonna last.
number
Nice
one,
stutter.
number one, there's Olympics every 2 years, and number two, I'm
Not
not
real
saying this is
ones.
happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Like, that's, there we go.
All right, he left us a
My
lot to
God,
figure
John,
out.
you're
Oh,
going
Jesus.
tomorrow.
There's a song by Dan Warren called Entropy, and the lyrics of it seem to apply to the spitefulness thing that you mentioned there, Justin, because it's like tiny pieces of my body falling off of me. Like, he's basically talking about the fact that if you're a person and as you're living, you have skin cells that are dying and they're floating around and everybody's breathing them up. And he's like, every time you walk by someone, you're just infecting them with yourself. And it's terrible. And it's just like,
Oh.
I think that's the level of spite that you think I have. And it's not, but
Really?
maybe I need to get back to that.
I mean,
I was go-
you've called me out here and said that I'm wrong, but am I?
I mean, okay, look, realistically, probably not.
I feel like that we've gotten, a fair sense of each other. You know that I'll do ridiculous bullshit for stupid reasons, and I know that you hate everyone around you, and that's
I don't hate everyone around me.
fair. The
It's
vast
that
majority of the
I
people
am
around.
easily irritated and will let you know what you've done. That's what it is. I don't have the filter that allows other people to irritate me and then exist not knowing why.
I can
I'll take that.
personally speak to John
Yeah, you
Eric,
can,
knowing
Noah.
that he's been annoyed with something.
Noah.
Yeah. Fucking shocker there, Noah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a long night for me.
All right. Well, let's see. We got Eric still on his way back. Eric, what's your ETA? Good talk.
Good ETA. Yeah.
It might be on his way back, which is good.
Okay,
I'd say.
so I'll do a quick recap and then we'll start, and hopefully you guys don't die and make a bunch of bad decisions before Dandarin shows up.
I'm going for a swim in the Finger of Death channel.
the old Death's Finger channel. Yeah, let's go there.
No,
It's a bit of a walk, but we'll get there.
Okay, so in last week's game, the group decided that they were going to use the Church of the Sovereign Host to get down into the goblin or the hobgoblin catacombs, and so they went in, they talked to people. Lumio and Delian basically managed to kind of like blather their way in, and as soon as they got a name of a gnome that had died recently, they just latched onto that and like, yeah, that's our guy that we're here to mourn, and so we need to go down into the catacombs and do that. And they They headed down. Catacombs are pretty dark. They're pretty cold. They went down. They explored a little bit. They heard some things slamming against a big stone door and decided we should open that door. And then they fought those things. Those things were mutated creatures called Dolgar. They fought the Dolgar, and after doing that, they searched that room and found a couple more Dolgar corpses, some bugbear corpses. They also found some like basically broken or shattered cages that the Dakani Empire used for hunting animals, as well as a magical harness that when you put that on a being, and then that being speeds up slightly, and anybody that's holding that being's leash also speeds up. This can be used on an animal. This can also just be used if you want to, like, put Dandern on a leash. After that, they explored a little bit more. They found a room that was marked armory. They went in there, and they discovered that there was a icy ooze in there. It was basically kind of a combination of sort of living frozen water and living frozen like living ice.
It was jelly sand spoon.
Yeah, it was a jelly ice spoon, or an iced jelly spoon.
Yeah.
Cold but refreshing. A good summertime treat. Available now at your local Dairy Queen. They fought that, and then they found a magical bardish, and they searched the room a little bit more, and the room looked like it had just been like shattered, and it was covered in kind of a fine sheet of ice. And Sharut also discovered some bodies of some Dolgants, which are hobgoblins that have been mutated and altered and tainted by Dalekir magic. After that, they moved on a little bit more, and they found basically a very large Remoraz that has been kind of turned into a piece of art. It is hidden behind a wall of magical Resian ice that just glows and sparkles in the light. They also found where the frozen throne from the bar in Star Alaska is from, because they found smaller replicas of that, and then they realized that the frozen throne, as well as the smaller replicas, aren't actually thrones. They're like palanquins or litters that you would carry a warlord into battle on if the warlord basically wanted to make a point, and the point wasn't I can ride an animal. And that is pretty much where we are now. So I will kick everybody back over to the entryway. Yeah. So so this is the area where this is the area right here where the frozen throne was. It's not there anymore, but there's a chair here, a chair here, a chair here, and a chair there. Danderen is currently standing on basically a platform like a town crier would stand on. And essentially what you find yourselves in, according to what everybody has managed to put together, is sort of like a place where somebody could come to do business in the city without having to go fully into the city. So this back in the time of the Dakani Empire would be set up with, like, you'd have some stalls along the walls and that sort of stuff. You'd have a town crier here, and then if it wasn't kind of a market day, if they were going to move out and go to war or something like that, you would have armies getting ready in these spaces, and then people would head out from here. So, what would you all like to do?
Get away from here.
So we know that, or at least suspect that the entryway is further along the left. That means we should look to the right real quick before we go.
Okay.
I agree.
He agree.
Agree.
Again, too much.
1 sec. I have to open character sheets for a few.
Yeah, of course.
Delian.
Yeah.
You see kind of encased in the ice along this wall, You're at a place now where not so much the floors, but the walls definitely have a thin sheet of ice across them the whole way. They're shiny, they're slick with the like wetness of it. You're seeing sort of all along this wall, behind the ice, little moving parts that aren't moving at the moment, but like they're parts that are capable of movement.
Yeah.
And you're pretty sure that they're leading to something up here that would render something on this door to be trapped.
Oh, okay. So a trap on an upcoming door.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just keep on walking. There's no. It's on the door. That's the assumption. Yeah.
Yeah, like what you're seeing is that how can I put it? The place to disable it isn't where the trap actually is.
Okay. So like around where I would disable it is through that ice wall.
Yeah, basically. But you're like, this is definitely the kind of like trigger area, but this isn't where the trap is.
Yeah, the trap is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just hold on 1 minute, and then I will try to disable said device. Is it easily accessible, or do I have to chisel away at the ice?
There's definitely going to have to be some work here to actually get to the pieces, because you're looking at the parts and you're recognizing that there's movement in this, but
Yeah.
you don't actually know what it's setting off yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
This
whatever
is basically like your delving experience and your keen perception coming into play, and you going, "Oh crap."
Yeah. All right. Well, Sharut, there's a trap on this door upcoming. I can see it. I know there's. What my assumption is that there's a trap. Don't know what it is, how it's going to affect anything, or anything like that. It's going to take a little bit to get to. So we can avoid that area, or we can work on disabling it so that way, if your curious mind wants to, we could go in it, assuming.
Can disable trap through wall or through door?
It probably, since all the working parts and stuff are right here, it's better to do it right here instead of at the door itself.
Shurut knows you in hurry, but think it is good idea to check all rooms.
All right. So, I guess if you want to just give me a little minute, I'll get working on this. And then I'll...
Can Shurut help?
I don't know. It depends on how tricky this thing is, and if you don't know what you're doing, you might set off whatever it may be. So, I guess this is for me. So, have fun. Look around. Enjoy the sights. Have a snack. You know, get your paces in. And, I'll be doing this. I'll let you know if I need help.
Give me a disable device check.
Okay.
And while he's doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Shurut is pondering what he meant by get your steps in. He doesn't understand.
This has come up several times, and it's confusing.
Cardio. Cardio is always good.
Shurut do cardio in morning.
Well, there's always time for more. No pains, no gains, someone once told me.
Dakani are always fit in case of battle.
Right? I'll get back to this.
Delian, can you please give me a reflex save?
Yep, I sure can.
That was a real bad roll, man.
Let me tell you, I'm aware.
Sharut, can you give me a reflex save as well?
If you insist.
Wow, it says a little note here. Interesting.
Don't worry about that note. That's for stuff that I don't want to forget.
All right, both of you take half of this,
Okay.
unless you have evasion, in which case you take none. So that would be, was that 4 points coming in?
I don't think I have evasion. Sad. Very sad.
I know I don't have evasion.
Okay.
Let's see. Rules ask you to round. Always round down. Yes. So you take 4. So basically, Delian, here's what happened. You kind of like, use your knife or your tools or whatever to try chiseling through this thing. And as you're doing it, you see this, like once you get in it just a little bit, you see this crack go like basically all the way from over here down this way. And and you realize that there is a lot of tension in whatever this trigger was, like whatever the mechanics of this thing was, and you realize like, oh, I maybe went a bit too fast here right before all these gears basically just explode out of the ice in the wall. And
okay.
you and Sharut are subject to basically an improvised fragmentation grenade. As it just peppers you in these sharp pieces of metal and gears that just kind of explode out. Yeah, it's unpleasant.
Yeah. Well,
What's happened to you? Are you all right?
well, I don't know if you were paying attention, but the wall just exploded.
Well, that's why I'm
And-
asking if you're all right. I wasn't just asking for the time of day there, Dillian. Now, let's see you here. And Dandrin just gives you like a once-over, just like looking all around you.
I'm hit with shards of metal, so I'm in pain. I can tell you, I don't need the once over. I'm in pain.
Dandrin, is he any more defective than usual?
Well, that's just quite rude.
I think
But,
so too. My goodness, after all this help, maybe I should have let you walk through first.
Well, neither here nor there. Sharut, how are you doing, lad?
Sharut, fine.
Ah, good, good. Dillian's in pain. You should probably see to him. 100% take it at face value.
Shrewd looks over at him.
Dillian seems fine.
Okay. What a bunch of characters. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. So yeah, you move up a little bit and you see a pair of doors. This one has one light in front of it. They both look to be that sort of ancient construction that you've come to recognize as being like old Dakani Empire.
Okay. And then here is the one light, meaning some danger, not completely. It's kind of a mixed bag. So I'm assuming this trap, if that is indeed what was trapped, should be good to go now.
Give me a knowledge engineering. You have engineering, right?
I do indeed.
Give me an engineering check.
I shall do the thing.
Hey, so what you're seeing here now that like as you're saying that and you're looking back this way, you see a pair of blades that have basically, think of them as like these sideways sort of scything blades.
Oh yeah,
that would come out from the wall and then swing towards the door. They're out and they're basically stuck like into the door. And looking at them and then looking at the ice that was around the mechanism where it was hidden and how much it broke through and all, everything that's on the wall down here, you're realizing that like these things were probably unable to be properly triggered because of the ice, but they were continually building up tension like they should have been triggered.
And I just released all of that.
Yeah, basically, like all at once.
Would I have known if I had opened the door had they would have also released said tension?
Maybe you didn't come to the door.
That's true. Well, hey, Andrin, you look like you like to break things.
I have been known.
Yeah, I have been aware. There's some things preventing this door potentially from being open. I assume you know how to break them.
Give me a moment. I take a look at what he's pointing at.
So basically what you're seeing is, like I said, it's these two curved scything blades that look almost like imagine it as being like the blade from like a scimitar if it was sharpened on the outer edge on the inner edge instead of the outer edge. And they have swung out from the wall and just clanked against the door. But now that the machine is broken, they can't go back in, so they're just kind of held there.
I can break it.
Just wait one moment.
And he motions back to direct the duo and Lumio to move forward so we can kind of get set up before Dandrin does some breaking.
Just tell me when.
Okay. they will be good. If Lumio's good where he is, then yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. You're good to go.
All right. Attacking inanimate objects. Should I just roll damage?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you can't really miss this.
Sure.
You are able to snap off one of the blades.
I'll give a quick listen, just see if I hear anything like shuffling around, like if that woke anything up.
Sure. Give me a perception check. No, you're mostly just hearing the kind of like, you know, the sound of the metal reverberating, you know, from where you just broke a sword, and you're hearing kind of the crackle of ice on the walls from where this thing just happened, and from what you're doing over here. Because like I said, there's all along the walls, there's like a thin layer of ice now. So you have to deal with all of that.
All right. In that case, I'll do it again.
All right. And you are easily able to snap the other blade off. And it just, you hit it at the base, it snaps off. It looks like it's sort of like, you know, it's very cold, so it's a little bit easier to break. And then it clanks to the floor.
Don't know if the door is locked otherwise, but yeah, the bars as they were are off. Delian, if you'd like to check the door.
I do a once over, but I'm pretty sure it's good to go.
Okay. Are you checking, or like what are you doing?
I'll check. I'm just
Okay.
making
When
sure
you-
there's no other traps, but yeah.
When you attempt to open the door opens.
Cool. There you go. The unwalkable.
All right.
Yeah. Please, by all means.
And I'll slowly start making my way in and kind of take a look around.
Yeah, it's a smaller hallway, definitely more compact than the big area that you were just in. Quick turn to the right as you go in, and then you move forward a little bit, and there's a little T intersection. There's a glow coming from the left of the T. And then
So I can see there's torches.
yeah, so there's some torches down here, and then to your right you can see a locked door down that way.
But we've got a live one.
And when I say like locked door, like basically what I mean is that you can see a door with no lights on it, which is the thing that you have been told, we haven't checked this area, or we've checked this area and it's dangerous, so we just shut the door.
Yeah. Delian, got one for you to inspect.
Mm-hmm. Then I'll get to it.
All right, you want to give me a perception check?
Sure thing, man. That's a door.
Seems to be some sort of door.
You know, this looks to me like a door. You say it's locked, huh?
It's a door, you say, but it's impossible. It went extinct years ago.
Mother of God.
It's last of its kind.
So yeah, you look for traps, you don't find any. When you attempt it, it does seem to be locked. So would you like to give me a disable device?
Sure. Is it me? Am I the quiet one?
I had your mic volume down a little bit, so I will turn it back up, and I will see if that helps.
Okay. Is this helping? Oh no. Dandrin, you're too close. You're rubbing off your luck on me.
No, I passed that right on to Sharuk. That's his problem now.
All right. Yeah, so the rough thing here is that like you're attempting to put picks into locks that have iced over.
Yeah. And on top of that, I'm in pain. I just got hit with the trap, so.
Yeah. And nobody seems to care. Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I cared.
It's a rough life.
I asked Sharuk to look at you. Sharuk's the medic. I could, if you were made of metal like Lumio, I could patch you up. Speaking of which, Lumio, how you feeling there, friend?
Hold on. Lumio, you reach out and attempt to open that door, and it seems locked.
Okay. Is Dandrin actually?
And
Are you calling for me? Do you need me for something?
I was genuinely asking about your well-being. Yes.
I feel no worse than usual. I mean, no better than usual. No worse than usual.
Right. Anyway, hold on a moment there, Delian. If you stand back there, just a moment, and I'll kind of like scooch him back.
Okay.
And I will, I will wind up with my magic hammer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit the lock to see if I can knock the ice loose for him.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a shot.
I Star Wars the door.
Can you also give me a knowledge education check? Sorry, knowledge education.
You mean engineering?
Knowledge engineering check.
I have that, and I can attempt to.
I was very.
That's how many I
concerned.
got.
Tell me what do you know about schools?
So
I know that they exist.
explain to me universities. So on the subject of explaining universities, I did a thing last week where I paid off my school loans.
Nice.
Ah,
Well done.
Hey,
Only took 15 years. Yeah.
I'll drink for that.
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Dandarin, you were able
Yes.
to knock off some of the ice and do it in such a way that you don't just damage the lock. Delian, if you would like, you can try this again.
I shall try it again. I'm doing better now, if anybody cares.
Good.
I can.
Good.
I care. Was there some?
Sure,
issue?
sure. It's like
Sure, it's like,
Examine. You're doing fine. Few scratches.
Delian, you do worse.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like this door is just not doing the thing. Like you're just not opening it.
Yep. Well, this one's a lost cause.
Halberd it is then, and I'll put back the hammer, and I'll think about grabbing the halberd. Remember that the halberd's currently in my workshop, and grab the bardiche.
before you swing, Sharut will motion Zorak forward.
I can remove the ice. This is.
Well,
touched
oh,
on
it's-
before.
The ice has
Well,
already,
now I'm
for
just
the most
removing
part,
the
been
door.
removed. At this point, it's the fact that like the door's still locked.
I am fixing the lock. Is my key. And I hold up the bardiche.
Does not look like a key.
You're all still very close for this.
Gentlemen, there appears to be 2 torches on the back of, if I'm remembering my geometry right, that carving that we observed before.
So yes, Lumio, as you go down the hall a little bit, there's a door behind you right here that has no torches on it, and then there's a door right here and a door right here, and each of them have a torch next to them.
Oh, that is a singular torch.
Correct.
That is slightly deceiving because I wanted to go through this way.
No, sorry. The door is here and here. They're just both on the same wall in front of it, but they're. Sorry, I tried to make them like close to their respective doors.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's cool. But
What was that?
these appear to be going directly into that large creature that we saw earlier.
Oh, that's fascinating. We should absolutely look into
Ah.
this.
Yes, I agree. Once we've done everything else and have an escape route ready to go.
Wait, I was under the assumption the creature was in the center of the room before the
You mean right here?
platform.
Yeah, I believe it was this wall, right?
Yeah, the creature is basically like right around this area. Like
Oh,
it is taking up a lot of this space right here.
Yeah.
So, with all due respect, I think we'll hold off on that particular exploration just for a moment.
Just for the moment. All right, so Danner, are you
Anyway.
going to try to break through this door?
I am, but with the bardiche, which I have just finished editing.
Okay. So that you know, it's a big stone door. This will not be fast.
Oh, but that's why I'm trying to break the lock and not the door.
I get that, but the big metal lock is in the big stone door. So like either way, it's not going to be quick. But go ahead and actually give me a couple rolls so I can see kind of what your like average damage here is. Okay. So it looks like you generally are around 20-ish.
Usually.
Okay. So you're going to have to hack at this for like 2 or 3 minutes in order to get to the point where you have successfully sort of like broken
it
through
aware here.
enough of the door to get to the lock, which you can then break. Does that make sense?
Oh, that perfectly makes sense.
And this is something where like if you had a pickaxe and some time, you could get completely through it. The fact that you have a magical the magical polearm definitely helps here.
Yeah, it's that it's magic is why I'm even attempting it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, I'd be like, well, it's done.
But you are eventually able to sort of pop the lock and get it open. And what you see. Oh, by the way, I love this about. Try the door real quick.
It made a noise.
Didn't it make a noise? Isn't that dope? It makes a little like no, this is locked noise. Whatever. When you open the door, what you see sort of looks like a like a nice hotel room / stateroom, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
You're seeing a well appointed, if extremely old, bed over here. You're seeing desks along this way. You see a small table with a pair of chairs over here, and then over here you see a in what you would consider probably to be an armor rack. Like it's basically a headless mannequin that you would like rest like a breastplate on. That doesn't currently have anything on it. Everything has that fine sheen of ice on it. It all looks to be very, very old. The wooden bits, like the bed and the desks, have sort of collapsed, but they don't look like they have rotted to nearly the amount that you know that they should have, given how old they are.
We're getting closer to the rift. Look how well preserved everything is wrecked.
It is the nature of Risia to keep things as they were, so it does make a degree of sense.
Frozen in time.
Yes, unchanging, at least to the extent they can be.
The dimension's a pun unto itself. I don't like it.
Give me a moment, and Zeract is going to she is going to detect the magics in the room.
Okay.
I will also swap back to my hammer so that I have my shield proper.
Move forward just a bit to do that. Wah.
Okay. Let's see. 1.
Okay. Can I narrow that down by sweeping quadrants?
Well, so like it's the 3-step process, and one of my old GMs, he used to like to do the actual 3 steps just to annoy us, and it's real fun. So it'd be like, I cast detect magic. Yes. Yes what? 1. Okay.
God damn it.
Conjuration. And it's over there. And that's what you get. You get yes, 1, and then conjuration, and it's over there. It's kind of over here, where the sort of the bed that has sort of collapsed onto itself is.
Dendron, I'm getting something from over that direction.
Please.
Oh, you mean the bed?
Yes.
All right.
Zeract will turn around and look, and hey, Shrewd, would you mind? There's probably something over that way. And then she's actually going to
Lumio as well.
head back there. Yeah.
Cowardice. No,
Wow.
Cowardice.
Shrewd will have his hand crossbows trained on it,
Okay, sounds good.
and
What a terrible escape route.
Well, this isn't the escape route we're preparing. We're just going door by door.
Okay, so what are you doing, Denrin?
Well, I'm going to examine the. I'm going to get closer. So it's like all up here.
Yeah. So it what he tells you is it was like in this area. So Zeract can actually pinpoint it if she concentrates. So she would have probably told you it's like you have here. I'll draw a little thing. You have this like if this sort of big trapezoidal kind of area is the bed. Zeract pinpoints that spot.
All right. So as I get closer, I'll examine it. And do I see anything in that area above? And I'll even look below the bed too, depending on how the bed's set up. Is it like a 4-poster bed, or is it more like a stone raised and they have a bunch of furs on it?
It looks like it used to be wood, like a wooden bed that was packed with basically furs in the middle. So the wood has deteriorated, the furs have deteriorated, but they haven't completely deteriorated as much as they should have.
So yeah, checking above and below,
Okay.
seeing what I can see in that area.
Sounds good. You don't see anything above on the ceiling. There's no real artwork. The room is very precisely carved. You are seeing that there's sort of a kind of a fine arch to everything. This is probably similar to the old like Dakani ruins that you are accustomed to in Sornath Hold, where they didn't really carve for beauty, they carved for purpose. So things are just measured well. They're usually fairly angular, that kind of thing. So nothing on the ceiling really sticks out to you in any way. On the floor, all you're really seeing is that, there's some tattered and iced over pelts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take my hammer and kind of shove away the furs.
Cool. Yeah, what you're able to see as you're moving things around, once you're kind of gonna have to like move up here to be able to reach over and get to the thing if you don't want to like full on crawl under the bed, because it's like stuck it's stuck in this little slot between the bed and the wall. Is
right.
Basically what you see is a small bottle. And that's kind of all that you're able to make out.
All right. I will very carefully pick up the bottle.
Okay. Once you have the bottle, it's small. It's the size that you would associate with being a potion. But it is ice cold to the touch. Whatever's inside is clearly frozen.
All right. And Zarak, you said conjuration, right?
Yes. That would
All right.
There's a couple of potentials there, but could be a healing drop.
I'm going to see if I can figure out what it is.
Yeah. What you have in your hand is a completely iced over potion of Cure Moderate.
Oh, wonderful. Once this warms up, should be good.
Let's make a smoothie out of it.
Oh,
You probably could.
please
Right.
drink your boba tea of Cure Moderate.
Why would they think that this room was dangerous? Oh no, they said they might not have looked in it as well, right?
Correct.
That's correct. Yes.
Is there? Does Sharut notice anything of note on the walls or the tables?
Not really. Like nothing in particular is ringing out to you. You can give me a knowledge history if you'd like.
I can do that because this seems like a stately room. Like my gut feeling is it's where it may have been where one of the generals slept. God, I'm rolling shit for history.
You can kind of go with your gut feeling here. You are unfamiliar with where you're from. You wouldn't put a stateroom outside of your city. So this is a weird thing to Sharut.
Okay.
Mhm.
He
So
will leave.
Zarak will mention it might be a diplomat's room. That would make sense to leave on the exterior, particularly if you didn't trust the inbound diplomats as such.
Potential also for merchants.
And he'll shut the door.
Okay, that door is shut now. What would you guys like to do?
Onward to victory.
Cool. Lumio,
Up to the next door.
To the next fake escape route.
Every escape route is
Indeed.
a fake
It
escape
looks like
route.
this one.
Yes, you see a door right there. You also see a door right there, and a door right there.
Yes, but that way leads to potentially death. So we should take this one.
I'm just gonna open this door right here.
I mean, all of them potentially do. So
Locked.
When you attempt that door, it is locked. Yes.
I charge and I attack the construct. He's turned on us.
The bloodthirsty.
Well, he's thirsty. Blood just happens to be the only option currently.
Oh,
I'm parched. Come here, lad.
so
Delian, would you like to give this to... Oh, well, all right. Yes, everyone wants to go and see what the big monster looks like from behind.
don't you?
No. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
I choose life.
I'm sure that there might very well be something of value in there, but it's guarded by the abomination.
this one's busted too.
I see.
Try this one.
It's Delian's turn tonight.
Apparently.
Quite so.
So, yeah, you find that you're
Okay,
just
fine.
not able to. Was that your cat, Travis? Your cat's loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did the thing and then left.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I just had to close the door, and Goo was just being annoying.
Yeah, you find that you're not able to open this one, but then you go over to this one and you're noticing that around this lock, it looks like the ice has been chiseled a bit more recently. So the lock is readily accessible, and you're able to just kind of like slip your picks in, and then there's just a quick like turn. You hit some bits inside the lock, and then it opens up.
Cool.
So when it opens up, you get the number one at this end right here. You can see the back of the Ramoras. This whole back wall right here is still that same sort of glowing Reesian ice. And so as soon as you open the door, all of this is much brighter than it was before because your light kind of reflects off the light of this thing.
Yeah.
But what you're also seeing is these sort of shelves along this wall that have these small little cubbies in them that are sort of squarish with a little door on the outside.
Oh, interesting. It's like a wall of cubbies.
It's just like a wall of cubbies, but each cubby has a little like a little door outside of it.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a room of lockboxes.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a pretty close approximation.
Cool. And so, all right, this one's got a bunch of what I'm assuming is, well, they're cubbies with doors in front of them. And so I'm guessing this is maybe where they stored some stuff I can go through and start doing this if you guys want to carry on, and I'll be here. Or, we can just wait as I open them. Maybe they're not all locked. Maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't started.
Well, the issue is if we find another locked door, you're kind of, right now, a kind of go-to fellow.
Well, it looks like
I could
you
give it
opened
a
the door
shot,
right
but
away.
well, I mean, I could give it a shot, but
And then what do you guys want to do?
all right, I'll give it a shot. I will go to this door, and I will attempt to unlock it.
Okay.
I will use disable device because I have that.
Roll me disable device. Well, click. You managed to disable the device. So you're seeing a very similar kind of design to what you saw before, where you have that sort of trapezoidal bed. You have some desk remnants along this wall. You have a table with a small pair of chairs over here, and then you have an armor rack.
Zeract will do the thing again.
This one does have that same sheen of ice on everything. However, this room is in far worse shape than the other one. There's just like, while the other one looked like over time the bed had kind of rotted, this one is like the furs are spread around the desk. Instead of just being like it's sagged under its own weight over the course of millennia, is like it was shattered to the ground, that sort of thing. So everything is still more or less in the same kind of place. It's just in far worse condition.
I see.
Doing the thing.
Zeract.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're going to do the thing, but as you're doing the thing, can you also give me a perception check, please?
I sure can.
All right. So, Zeract, you are not surprised when you step forward and see the two things you are about to face.
Mm-hmm.
So you step forward to start using your
Detect magic?
detect magic, and on either side of you, sort of standing against the wall in the corner, standing as stock still as they can, on either side of you, you see a Dolgant.
Fuck. Okay.
Which, by the way, I have to move you to where you actually are because you need to be in the doorway. But that's where you are.
Okay.
There is, sorry, the bad walls in this place. The walls go to there. The door is the only square that you were in.
That's fair. Yep.
So, let me end this, and then I'm going to highlight everybody, and if everybody could please roll me your initiative.
Sure.
Oh, thank God.
All right, I'm just gonna roll for you, Eric.
Oh, beat me
Well,
by 1
Zeract,
second.
You do get to go first. You spotted them as they start moving forward. You see the cilia that's covering them sort of not just rippling and wriggling in the air, but also kind of like doing it in these weird jerky movements that make you think that these things probably aren't built for the cold that they've been in for so long. And I'm going to do the, just so everybody knows what we're talking about when we say Dolgrim, here's what a Dolgaunt is. I apologize, but this is what they look like.
Why must you show me again?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yep.
Good.
You
What a
see-
horrible creature.
You see what sort of looks
He
like
was my roommate in college.
what sort of looks like a flayed hobgoblin that has had its eyes removed, its tongue elongated, and instead of having skin, its body is covered with a sort of swarming tendril mass of cilia. Additionally, from the back of the creature, from each shoulder blade, is a long whipping tentacle that is just reaching out and touching everything around it. These you've probably never encountered a Dolgaunt to be able to say what a normal Dolgaunt behaves like, but these are very herky-jerky in their movements. They're just as they're going. You are first in this combat. What would you like to do? Bravely charge?
Yeah, Zeract definitely has the armor class for that. Well, Zeract will take a shot with the crossbow on the one at the left.
Okay.
So we'll do. I don't think we've got anything bonus to that, so this is just gonna suck. Oh, hey, it didn't suck.
You actually hit it.
Yeah, and it did pretty good damage.
All right. You see the crossbow kind of like hit it, and it, man, that was a good shot, and that crossbow definitely did not sink in nearly as much as it should have. But it did sink in. The creature does
That's
react
cool.
in pain, and you hear this kind of like that's sort of broken by the sound of it opening its mouth to scream in pain, and you see like literal crystals of ice falling from its chin and sprinkling along the ground.
At that point, Zeract gets the fuck out.
I'm still going to go with Bravely Charge, but sure, it's your choice.
And she'll shout a warning. Where? There's creatures in there.
All right. So, at that point, it is going to be Dolgaunt number 1's turn. And Dolgaunt number 1 is going to move to there, and then it's going to, well, it'll no longer see Zeract, so it sees Dandarin. And Dandarin is going to attack you.
That's weird.
It shouldn't do that. I disagree.
I disagree. Oh, Reginald, I disagree.
I've decided no.
Dandarin, does a 13 hit you? I know it doesn't. And then the other one will go... Oh, I should actually click the other one.
He ran away.
The other one is going to go in and take a step in past Dandarin. And let's see who we have of all the tasty, tasty morsels in the hallway. One of them is a goblin.
No,
Oh shit.
no.
Sharut,
buddy.
does a 17 hit your flat-footed armor class? I didn't ask Dandarin if it was flat-footed because I knew that his armor class is mostly armor.
The difference is
Um,
insignificant.
It does hit my flat-footed armor class.
Well, sir, I hate to inform you of the amount of damage you're going to take, but it is a staggering 5.
5 points damage. Okay.
Indeed, indeed. However, after this, there is does a 21 beat your CMD?
Yes,
Oh,
it
Lord.
does.
Ooh, well. You are grappled.
Not grappled.
So basically, it doesn't reach out with its claws when it does this. What you see it do is it does that sort of jerky move forward, and then it kind of stretches, like it stretches its arms back, and you see its tentacles whip up and then down, and they just smack into you and they start wrapping around you. And as soon as they have a good hold on you, they start to burrow in a little bit. You
Oh.
feel your vitality being drained. Please take 1 point of con damage.
Ooh.
You're a dick.
He's eating your soul.
Guys, I'm excited.
All right.
Uh.
So, at that point, top of the round, Zeract, you spotted the ambush that they were setting. You got to go in the surprise round. They get to go now. Zeract, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm a 5-foot step. I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna fire at the dude who is grappling Sharuk.
Okay.
It's this guy.
Yes.
Okay. He's flat-footed against that, but in melee combat, correct?
So he's not flat-footed, but you do get a bonus to hit him. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll, and I'll see if it'll hit. Yeah, that would have done it.
All right. Well, yeah, yep. All right.
Okay. So that was Zarak's turn. After Zarak is going to be what the ever-loving shit is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just she doesn't have the movement to move that far and hit. But Forsidna will move up. Denderin, it is your turn. The one to your left has grappled the goblin behind you. The one in front of you is looking to do the same thing to you.
Oh, that's adorable. Anyway, I hit the one hitting my goblin friend.
Look, you're never going to be the king of the new Goblin Empire if you let goblins live.
Wait, what?
well, here's the thing. I don't need to be the king. I can be the power behind the throne.
Oh, there you go. All right, then yeah, kill that Dolgon.
Let's see here. What would be the best thing to do? He appears to be made out of natural things, so let's hit him in the tentacles.
So that 15 is going to hit. That is. Oh, you have the bardic.
Also,
in your
he's
hand, don't
a.
you?
No, I did declare I was swapping it.
Oh, did you switch
over
it?
Over here, I specified that I'm swapping back so that I have my shield and hammer.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you're switching back to the hammer, and you're gonna pound on him.
Yes. So this is I have two separate entries, one for the hammer, one for the bardish.
Well, this says effect notes is limning.
Did I click the wrong one? Hold on. What die did it roll? No, it's saying it rolled a D8 plus 2D6, so I don't know why it says limiting.
That's weird. All right. That's cool. Yeah, you get a good solid hit on this thing. It your warhammer comes in, it hits that sort of spongy cilia covered flesh. You see some ice kind of crackle along its skin and fall off. And it doesn't feel like the impact was quite to the level it should have been, but it still works.
All right.
And
he's at -2 on all of his attack checks. So it hits with the tentacles.
Oh, wait. So was this you sundering him?
I was sundering his tentacles.
Okay, so the damage that he takes is halved.
He basically no, he just so what's going to happen is he doesn't really take damage, but I hit him, so he takes the penalty.
Yeah, but when you were doing this to the Dolgar, you were hitting them for you were rolling 20, but then you were telling me the damage was 10. So
because you see the difference is the D8 rolled a frickin' 1 on this one, and the D6s rolled a 5 and a 2.
Yes,
and I add 3.
Then okay.
So
Here's
takes
my
6
question,
damage.
Eric. Last week, you would roll a 20, and then you would say they take 10 damage.
Yes, because
now you're rolling a
D8 plus
12.
3.
Pause. Don't interrupt. Now you're rolling a 12. So do they take 12 damage or do they take 6? Because last week you were having it. I'm wondering why you're not having it now.
I wasn't having it, John Eric. There's math to it. When you click on the dice for the breakdown, the physical damage they take, which is in the notes here for the thing that every time it pops, they only take the dice of damage, my normal damage die. The number of D6s are just because I'm using the Thunderous Blows ability, so I have to roll that when I make it. Those 2D6 only apply if they are a construct or like undead or an object.
So the actual damage that it takes.
So they take the D8 plus the flat damage I add.
Okay. So he's just taking the D8 plus 4?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Which means he's taking effectively nothing because I'm assuming he's got DR5.
Yeah.
He just takes the penalty to hit. So he's at -2 on his attack checks with his tentacles.
Okay. But if you were unable to actually damage him in any way, then you wouldn't be able to sunder the natural attack because you haven't actually hurt him.
My understanding is that it's not that I have to do damage, it's that I make the check. Yeah, it just takes the penalty.
All right. We'll look it up.
It's right here. It's literally right here in the thing. The blacksmith chooses to summon the creature's natural weapon. On a successful check, he deals damage to the creature equal to his normal weapon damage, and a penalty to attack rolls. So it's an and. I don't have to deal damage. It's just I have to hit it with the attack, which I did. So it's just taking a -2 because that's my bonus dice number to its to hits.
If you don't hurt it, you're not sundering it though. Like that's what makes sense. Like if you're trying to break something, and you don't deal damage to it, you didn't break it. So if you're trying to sunder the creature and you don't deal damage to it at all, how are you going to say that you're sundering it?
For the same reason that if an attack hits you and it poisons you, even though it does no damage, because say you're wearing adamantine plate, if you want to just say no, that doesn't work because you're DM fiating it, that's fine. I'm just saying what I'm reading is if it gets hit, this is what happens.
Yeah, but so like in the scenario that you're giving, if something bites you and you don't take damage, even if it hits you, but you don't take damage due to DR, it can't poison you if it has like a damage or an injury based poison because it didn't actually injure
Technically
you.
speaking,
So-
it does. But this is a whole rules discussion we can have after the game.
Yeah, we'll have it after
Whatever
the
you
game.
want to say right now.
I'll go with
you're
it.
saying-
I'll go with it for right now. But it's weird to me that you can like sunder something that you didn't actually injure.
I'm fully aware. It's that scenario I gave you is something that happened to me where I got paralyzed and our party died because I took no damage. But it was like, well, you have to make a check because it just touched you. I was like, but it didn't hurt me.
Yeah, it's weird. All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll go with you have you hit its
I guess
tentacly
the explanation
bits.
is I jostled it enough that I've thrown it off.
Yeah, you hit its tentacly bits. You jostle it a little bit. It shakes around and yeah, cool. At that point, we will move on to Sharut. It's your turn. You're grappled.
Chirrut is also terrified.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking terrified. So he's gonna try and get
Especially
away.
when like in like old Dakani, it's basically going like join us.
No. 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 No.
You don't
No.
want to try Ness?
But what about yes?
No.
Try yes.
No. 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 Sharut will attempt to break the grapple with an escape artist check. Let's see.
You are able to break the grapple.
Okay. Now, as a player, I know it'd be smart of me to just take a 5-foot step back and shoot. But as Sharut, no. No, no. No, 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 no.
Okay.
No. No, no, no.
Noah, I love you, but you're gonna hate me here. Can you put yourself right back there?
God damn it.
They have 10-foot reach. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Okay. Oh, thank God.
You break out and start running, and you like feel the tentacles swipe through the air behind you and hit the ground, and like, and you can keep going.
He gets to, I think, right about here, and he starts like shakily loading bolts into his hand crossbows and just like pointing them in that direction.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good.
And I'm going to be mean to myself and say that he's going to take a negative to hit for the duration of this combat.
Oh, you're saying he's shaken?
He's shaking.
That's
He-
a
he
negative
might-
2?
Yeah.
He might be a little shaken.
You can apply a little. I'm
He's
sure.
gonna-
I'm sure there's a shaken.
There's staggered, sickened, fear. Let's see.
Yeah,
Death prone.
you should be able to apply it to yourself. So I'm gonna go to Lumio. It's your turn.
Sorry, I've been chewing. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I guess I need to roll a D100 because I'm going to put down a totem of courage.
All right.
Frightened should do.
I think it's funny after Sharut runs away, Lumia goes, and everybody be brave.
Yeah. So there's the wild magic. So that's okay.
Yep, that's fine.
And then I'm going to make this as part of my move action because that's one of the things that I've got. And everyone has a +1 competence bonus to fear and +2 morale bonus against fear
Wonderful.
in that area.
Okay. Sounds
I
good.
told him I could help.
You were not
He was
lying.
like, "No, I'm going to tough it out."
I'm scared.
He said to
5
wait
minutes?
until the time comes when he does get scared.
And there it is.
And there it is.
Time has, all right. And I'm going to attack the thingy, this thingy, with my electric blast.
Sounds great. First though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Never mind. It tries to whip you and it doesn't. Go ahead and do your thing.
Okay, I'm gonna attack him back.
And you are attacking touch AC, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
against the dude on the left
Okay.
of Dandarin. Oh, hey, delete those.
All right. You managed to hit.
Awesome. Shoot. Nope, not D20. I'm just thinking fancy. There we go. Hey, that's the best damage I've ever rolled.
So you fire this like arcing blast of electricity at this guy, and you just see him, like, you see it just cascade over his body, and he falls to the ground as a burnt, shriveling husk.
Cool. All right, and that's my turn.
All right. And after that is Carly, who will move forward. She can basically move up here next to Dandarin, but can't actually do much. And then Delian, it's your turn.
Okay. I was just gonna be doing a thing, and then all this racket happened. So I go over. I see that it's some terrifying monstrosity, and I'm like, okay, well. So I guess here's a quick question: if he's flanked, do I get the sneak attack damage from range, or do I have to only in melee?
Only melee. It's different from Kingmaker. Like, you,
I know, that was the weirdest concept.
It's that it doesn't matter if they're flanked if you're not part of the flank. You have to be part of the flank for it to work, or they have to be unable to sense you.
Okay. Cool. In that case,
In many cases, having their dexterity modifier removed is sufficient. So you
Yeah,
want to double check the specific rules.
If something doesn't have a dex mod, they're considered to be flat-footed. If they're flat-footed, then you get your sneak attack.
Does grappling make you flat-footed?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try to go here. I know I'm in range now. Do you want to do the roll before I move?
Yeah, he's gonna try to whip at you. He'll miss.
Yeah, he sure will. And so that's, I think, all my movement. And because I've moved max movement, does that mean I cannot attack?
No, you can still attack.
Sweet, then I'm gonna.
You ever been stabbed in the kidney by a knife over the gnome? Would you like to?
Would you like to? Does that hit?
That does not hit.
That's a shame.
It's a crying shame. Yeah, that's not gonna do it for you.
All right, well, I tried.
All right, and after Delian is going to be that particular Dolgont. So he's gonna whip out, and I think we're gonna whip at Dandarin, and then one more time at Dandarin. Could have made better choices there. Top of the round, Zarak.
All right. Now my line of sight's all fucked up, but I think I can still shoot through this, albeit at a massive penalty. So we're gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, with like being in melee, you're still managing to hit.
Hot.
I generally don't like to give things cover from other creatures. But I will put the in melee penalty there, and with it being in melee, you still hit. So
yeah.
It takes a little bit of damage from you, as your arrow does max damage yet again. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
That is 2
reasonably
hits
well.
against this guy for max damage. Forsidna is now blocked by everybody up front. So Dandarin, it's your turn. Actually, Dandarin, 1 second here. Forsidna will lend you her shield and give you a +2 to AC.
Neat. Thank you much. And it's the totem of hit 2 things, right?
No, this is the totem of bonus versus fear.
I do have a question, though, that I've been forgetting to ask, because these are goblinoids. These count as goblins, yeah?
So here's the thing. Technically, no.
They don't have goblinoid aberrant or aberration?
Nope, they are fully aberration.
I don't know why he's so scared of him.
Well, I guess I'll hit it in the armor class. No, I won't. That was a bad roll overall.
Yeah, that one's not going to do it. All right, and then we'll move to Sharut.
I'm gonna make a will save.
Okay.
And
Yep.
+2.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're probably not shaking anymore.
Probably not shaking anymore. Okay, in that case, let's remove that debuff and then gather our senses, move up to there, and shoot this ugly mother.
All right.
Shoot him in the face.
Go ahead and roll
Shoot him
it.
twice. Let's see.
Okay. That will miss.
I do have the sniper sphere,
Oh.
so I'm not taking.
Then that
-4.
will hit. My mistake. Forgot you had that. That will miss.
So only first shot hit.
I thought you were going to argue about that one too. Like, well, I do not
No.
want to miss with that one. Oh, well, then that one will hit.
That's a second. I mean, if arguing will help.
What if I didn't?
So you like level your 2 little hand crossbows, and you're like, all right, and you fire, and you see this thing ping him right in the middle of the head, and your bolt just falls away. Like, it doesn't penetrate. It doesn't look like he was wounded at all.
He curses under his breath.
Lumio,
In-
your turn.
Yeah. I'm going to keep concentration on the thing giving everyone courage, and I'm gonna hit the dude with another thing. So roll magic first. That's a miss. Does that hit his touch?
That will not hit his touch. No.
Well, then I'm done.
Alrighty. After Lumio is going to be Corley, who will make an attack roll. She will miss. After Corley is going to be Delian. Delian, what would you like to do?
It has no eyes to throw sand into.
It does not. It literally has, like, your one main combat tactic it is immune to.
It's very upsetting. So I'm going to try to stab it.
Just throw some sand in, like, the holes where its eyes were.
Can I do that as a free action?
Sure, it works. He doesn't
Hell
care.
yeah.
There's sand in
I
there
feel
now.
I feel better though.
But
about
everybody else just sees you, like, put sand in the eye holes, and they're all like, "Ugh."
it. Lovely. To me, the best.
You get a thumbs up from Lumio.
Yeah, and I totally miss.
You totally miss. Doing anything else?
No, I moral victory on this one.
All right. Well, at this point, it's going to go, man, it really, really sucks not being able to hit Dandarin. So it's going to swing at you instead.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit you?
It does not.
Does a 14 hit you?
Funny enough, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird. My armor class does actually get lower.
Would you
the
take the
more
hit
that-
for 2 Scooby Snakes?
I mean, it's like this weird pocket where I have certain numbers that do and don't hit. I don't
My
understand.
character sheet says 1 through 13, comma 15.
I really wanted
It's really weird.
I really wanted to create
That's strange.
an epic level monster back when I ran an epic level game that had an AC of like 15, and you had to swing within like 5 to have a chance of hitting it. If you swung any higher than like a 20, you swung too well and it just missed. because epic level characters have like a plus 58 to hit, and I thought it'd be funny to be
So-
like, yeah, you're too good to be able to fight this thing.
Like
I
the
hate that.
monster
I
of
hate that
mediocrity.
so much.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Level train me down. I swear we can get him.
Drain me back down to level 1, coach, and then put me back in. Zarak, it's your turn.
All right. Yeah, let's do the same thing. This has been working so far. I am pretty sure that does not work, though.
That one is going to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since you don't have the thing. You don't have precise shot, right?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Spheres? Who uses those?
You could have actually just taken it with feats like a person.
I had other shit to put my feet into.
Like this warm foot bath.
All right. For
Yeah.
Sidna, we'll go
Have some salt.
and...
Nice.
Oh, wait. Go back one. She is going to... Dandarin, you feel real protected. You get +2 to AC. And then it's your turn.
Yeah. I hit him in the AC, maybe, hopefully.
Fuck yeah, you do. Jesus.
Take
And-
that penalty to AC. And
Oh.
once again, just tap him. I've thrown him off balance.
Yeah. You kick him in the knee, and he goes, that doesn't hurt. And you're like, yeah, but look at it. And he looks at it, and there's like a scuff mark. And he doesn't like that.
He looks at it, sand falls out of his eyes. The irony.
Everybody that's not Travis gets a hero point.
I'm using that. That's gonna happen. That's
Like, I'm worth it.
Thanks, Travis. I'm back up to full hero points.
God, I
Yeah,
hate
maybe you guys
sometimes.
Maybe you'll care about Julian now that he's gifted you all hero points like a boss.
I cared the whole time.
Sharut,
That's not a class feature. It's not a thing he did.
Sharut, it is your turn.
Kind of a thing he did.
Shrewd is not going to be super useful at fighting in this dungeon because everything has DR. This is
Look,
none of us
it's
are.
not that everything has DR. It's just everything that you've encountered this far and will probably encounter in the future.
so everything in this dungeon has DR. Is that a correct statement?
Make a better character.
You know what you should do? You should buy some weapons that
That could buy
bypass.
DR.
Have you
That-
considered buying a bag of pins?
Oh, you know that's true. I don't think we had
Uh,
really considered that.
I
All right,
hadn't
that's
thought
it.
of
Someone
that.
go upstairs and wake up Ringer.
I hadn't thought of that. Miss and miss.
All right, a double miss from old Sharut. One of them kind of wings past or towards Dandarin and hits Forsidna's shield, and the other is just a wide miss that goes into the room.
The one that hits for Sidna's shield also makes a loud or makes a pop.
Pop. Lumio, it's your turn.
Yeah.
What would
Oh,
you like to
good.
do, bud?
Same thing I do every night, Pinky. Let's start with the
Ooh, roll a D100 there.
Oh,
43. A 43.
all of you turn into tentacles for this specific tentacle monster.
Now
Weird, I
everyone's
know.
tentacles. It's all tentacles. The spell point cost of this effect increases by 1.
Well, that ain't too bad.
Oh, never mind. It's just him.
Well,
Yeah.
so if the spell point cost was 0, because you were using your baseline one, you have to spend
Which
a
is
spell
what-
point to
yeah.
do this.
It's exactly what's happening.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. Crit.
That is a threat to crit. Would you like to roll to try to confirm your crit? You don't confirm, but you do hit.
Screw you, Dandarin!
I've done nothing.
You know why?
He had like 2 bad sessions, and you guys blame all ones on him now.
I mean,
Yeah.
what sessions they were.
I do.
The lightning very lightly tickles his body. It's
Gosh.
man, that's almost refreshing.
All
He looks
socks
at
in the
you
room
with a
cling to him.
pleased nod, and then
You
More
can't
sand
pull that
pours
off
from his
with
eyes.
and then we'll move on to Corley, who will try to attack, and will miss.
Oh.
And then Delian.
Man, oh man.
So, Travis, you haven't played many rogues here, so would you like some helpful tips about what to do?
Sure, thank you.
Cool. So, typically, when somebody is playing somebody who is focused on sneak attacks, you want to do what you can to get in position to sneak attack as often as
Yes.
possible. That means that you need to be here, because
I don't. How do I get there? Acrobatics?
the way you get there is an acrobatics check. So it's an acrobatics check that is going to be a little bit high because there's only one square to go through, and you have to go through a
And
square
it's
that's
him.
occupied by him.
Yeah.
So the difficulty of that acrobatics check is it's his CMD plus 5.
Wow.
But if you do that, you spend 1 move action. You can move up to half your speed, which your speed is like 20, so you'll be able to get there. That's fine. Or if you would like, you can also try to get there and flank with Forsidna instead. Though flanking with Dender is
Yeah.
probably more useful.
Probably more useful. Although, I'm just saying, I'm real close
Yeah.
to Tandarin.
And then if you are unable to complete the acrobatics check, that will provoke an attack of opportunity. But if you're able to make it, you'll be able to move here as a move action, and then make an attack with your standard. action.
Okay, cool. Thank you for those helpful tips.
No problem.
And
Because I could
here
tell
we
that
go.
you were trying to get into flanky bits, and it wasn't really working for you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to maneuver the best way I can. I did not know I could acrobatics past a fool.
Yes, that will actually be enough to do the thing.
Hooray!
Cool. So now you can make an attack roll. It would be like a standard attack roll, but since you're flanking, you get +2 to hit. And if you hit, you
Ah.
do sneak attack damage in addition to your regular damage.
Oh, that's awfully lovely.
So that will hit. So now roll your regular damage and then add 1d6 for sneak attack.
So then, can I put it all in one equation?
Yeah.
or No.
Yeah, your syntax would be it'd be like /roll 1d3 plus 1d6.
Okay, I didn't know if that's what I thought it was. I just wanted to be sure. Wow, that was a good one.
All right. That is just enough to basically you cartwheel past it, and as it kind of like turns, jerkily snapping its tentacles all along the ground after your feet, you then just kind of come up with a reverse grip on your kukri and just slash it across the stomach, and it grips at its entrails and then falls down. You see it die in this really sort of weird fashion where it dies and you see the blood kind of like coming from this thing, and as fast as it's coming out of it, the blood's freezing.
Oh, gross.
Disconcerting.
Can't believe we're in a fire dungeon.
I was lied to when I was sold on this adventure. I was told that there would be sandy beaches and punch and pie.
Well,
And I have met none of these.
for what we know from John Eric's exploration of the main map, the water dungeon is next.
We'll go through all the elements yet. I personally look forward to the Earth dungeon.
Good old water dungeon.
Good work, Dillian.
Thanks.
Let us see if there was anything in here of value.
All right, let's get back to the detecting of magics now that we can.
I think Sharut is going to take
Yes.
a long, hard look at the corpses.
3. And then you find them. There is one under the rubble of this, and then there's another under the rubble of the bed.
Okay.
And after searching and like sort of pawing through the rubble, you come across basically sort of, there was a scroll that had numerous spells on it, but it looks like somebody has essentially slashed through pieces of the paper, of the parchment, so that only what is left, kind of like, you know how you wrap a scroll around that like central stick and then you pull it down, only what is left, the closest to that central stick, is still viable. And then over here near the bed, you find basically a pair of potions that have each been tucked into a now rotted pair of shoes.
Wait, what you're saying, what I'm hearing from you, Generic, is we have the last piece of toilet paper on the roll.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
And some boot juice.
The old boot juice.
Mm.
Scrumptious.
Loving it.
I'm going to see if I can find out what these things are.
Yeah, go ahead and give me one roll for the potions and one more for the scroll.
The scroll? No.
No
it appears to be
idea.
the last piece of toilet paper on the roll. Potion number 1?
So you just need the one for the potions because they're the same thing. They're both iced over. But as you're kind of like looking at them and examining them, you realize that these are 2 oils, not potions, of grease.
Ah.
Ooh.
It's caster level 1 grease, if that matters.
Indeed. Dillian, you might want one of these. This could be useful for you. An oil of grease makes things nice and slick. Cheroot.
I know
You
how
could
much
take
you
one
love to
as well.
stay lubed in all your thieveries.
I was more thinking to trip up people trying to chase him, but you know.
Whatever.
And then I give the other oil to Cheroot
Okay.
for the same reason. And then, you know what, Zarak, since you can try and figure this out later, I've given it a shot, but I can't make heads or tails of the scroll right now. I'm sorry.
All right. I've got detect magic. I will give that a shot.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a spellcraft roll.
You betcha. Spellcraft.
You have no idea.
Yeah. This
It's-
isn't similar at all to the
It's
items
some
that I
sort
look
of
at.
like old Dakani nonsense. It's detecting his magic to you, but it's also detecting as like half a, like as you're trying to read it, it's like half a spell. So like nothing is making sense about this.
That's all right.
That was an oil of grease, you said?
It's an oil of grease.
Sharut's going to put it in a bolt vial.
Sure.
Zarak will hand it back to Dandrin and just say, just hold on to it for now.
I can
try
buy
it
grease over there.
Indeed. All right. Where do we want to go next?
One of these
This door?
half-lit doors?
Sure. I'll give this one a try.
Yeah.
See if I can disable this device. No. It's pretty iced over.
That door was locked when I tried it earlier.
Yes, that's why I attempted to unlock it. I failed.
Yeah, the this is also the one that Delian was having trouble with. You have no idea how to open this up. It is so iced over.
Well, let me see if I can do what I did to that other door and loosen it up for him. I will attempt
just to melt this ice. I don't know why you keep
well, that's
going about
much
the
safer.
hard way. Yes.
Well, by all means.
Do you want to do explodies this close to the Remores?
I kinda like, sorta.
I, Justin, the player, do want to see a Remores.
I do. I do. You know what? And if it's...
I really do not want to see a Romoras.
Yeah, but it's just the hallway. It's not like it would detect the sense of heat and then go, oh, mating season. Remores fact, it might.
Remores fact.
Remores fact.
I like how you said that knowing that it might, and then continue to use it as your argument. Well done. Well panned out.
Good.
I saw Justin specifically looking at the camera and then winking after he said it. It was real disturbing.
Yeah, that's good. It's I'm glad we shared that moment.
Starch bomb.
Oh, by the way, Travis, I discovered a new word as I was looking up what this thing is called. These things that you're seeing all along the wall here. These are columbariums. A columbarium.
Wow, that is a
fun
word.
Yeah, right. It's a nice word. I had no idea what it was called. A columbarium is a structure with niches, small spaces for placing cremated remains or urns or other approved containers. Sometimes they are outdoors, sometimes they are indoors as part of a mausoleum. So basically what you're seeing is like all along no.
Dandelion, do your thing.
Yeah, that was not where I wanted to draw at all. All along this wall and all along this wall are the columbariums.
We're role-playing and learning today.
I think we all learned something.
Oh, why?
So, while you're searching those, Dandelion, are you trying to break the lock open?
He said
No, just give it a shot. You're good, man.
You didn't melt the ice, did you?
I feel like we're all confused. What's going on?
I'm letting Dandelion do his thing.
Okay, Dandelion already failed at his thing.
Oh,
yeah. So I was going to hit it and break the ice.
That's what I meant by his thing.
Ah,
yes.
Okay.
But I would like to see if I can do this without breaking the lock. Oh well, I'm gonna. Nope. If I hit it, I'm just gonna break it. So this room's dead to me.
Yeah, you're like you tinker with this thing and you realize that like there's no way to do this with force without shattering the locking mechanism, and you probably don't have the time to do it with grace unless you're gonna stay here for a long while.
I could stay here for 10 minutes just hacking at it, I suppose. If you're not gonna melt it, Zrak, then
so be it. Let's just do what you can.
Well, actually, Billion, how long is it gonna take you to go through that room there?
Down now.
So, Glean, that's actually a good question. Are you basically like opening the little doors and looking in? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was going to like open some random ones, see if there's anything worth anything.
Okay.
And then if there's like not anything interesting within the first few, just kind of mark the whole room as bad.
Okay. So yeah, some of the doors are locked. They all have a lock, but some of them are actually engaged. But you're opening probably about every third or fourth one if you're testing a bunch of the doors, and about half of the ones that you're able to open have an urn in them, and it's usually just an urn of various shapes, various qualities. Some of them are basically a cylindrical metal tube with a little lid. Some of them look like little chalices, but they're all urns.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark it. It's all urns. That's all this is.
And once you kind of open them, on the inside of the door will be like a little plaque to say who this is an urn for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is just cremated remains.
Yeah.
I assume this other room will be pretty much the same.
One of the things that you probably are noticing as you're opening it and looking into these is that on the plaques that you're seeing, so you see something, it'll say like, like Harika Furnow, and it'll say, like 926 to 985 YK. So these are not old. These are sort of modern additions to this place. Somebody put the columbariums here. Somebody put the urns here recently. Not within like the last year or two or month or two or anything like that. But it's just like they weren't built with this.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's recent, but not recent enough for it to be whatever. Okay. All right. So this is all fairly recent. I guess that's why we can assume with this one light over here. And you guys want this one, but I'm just saying this is probably just another small room full of urns.
You're probably right. Very well, if we have time on the way back.
All
Can
right.
I do a heal check on the corpses?
Of the Dolgons?
Yeah.
Sure. What are you trying to figure out?
I think Shrewd is just trying to logic it together, even though he knows he won't be.
To rationalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a heal check. These are you're unfamiliar with Dolgon anatomy, obviously, because it's weird. It's hobgoblins that have been just mutated to a terrible degree. But looking at these and thinking back to the sort of stories that you've heard of Dolgons, these look malnourished. Like they're in terrible condition, even if you don't consider the fact that they're dead.
Okay. Shrewd will put down his backpack real quick, fish out a piece of paper, and write a short detailed descriptions of what he sees.
Okay.
And he'll stuff it back in his bag and
Flip them off and then walk away.
I mean, I think he's still a little shaken, but he might be able to handle these guys a little better moving forward. Maybe. We'll see.
Where did Lumio go?
Right behind.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's his
He's
figure.
parts.
His figure was behind, or his token was behind Zerax, and I was like, "What? Did I delete the figure? Did Andy leave us?"
No.
I've gone stealthy.
Dandarin used him for a new axe head.
Oh, that makes sense.
I am the sharpest tool in the shed.
God damn it.
I would call it cutting words.
Noah, you know what you've done, right?
Noah, we're gonna take away that Travis hero point.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
He knew what he was getting himself into.
All right. So
You
what do you
could
guys do?
have avoided this whole situation, Noah.
Actually,
You know what? I stick by it.
since it's 9 o'clock, how about we go on a quick break and we'll come back and continue on after that.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, and I will move. I will do. There we go. I'll stop drawing on the map and switch to that. All right, and we will be back in 15 minutes.
I'm gonna grab something to drink real fast, but I'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Except for Justin, who waited until the moment that we all got back to leave.
Yes.
It's perfectly timed betrayal.
Perfectly timed. I always knew the goblin would give us up.
So Zeract is helpless right now, right? Since Justin is away.
Zerax is technically helpless. Delian, now's your chance.
All right. I cast
Quick,
darkness
quick,
and
quick.
sneak attack the hell out of this fool.
What do you mean, cast darkness? Get over here. Get the flanking bonus. Come on now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. I didn't. Such camaraderie.
We all know Dandarin threatens Zeract.
Yeah, great. Just Dandarin's down to betray the party anytime.
Dude, one of the items that I got in Pathfinder Kingmaker was something that says whenever anyone leaves melee range with you, anyone leaves melee range, or whenever any ally, that's what it was. Whenever any ally leaves melee range of you, you have to make an attack of opportunity against them.
That's very funny.
But it's such a good item otherwise. It has a bunch of other bonuses, and I was like, well, if I put it on my ranged characters, they can't make melee attacks of opportunity. So beat you there, Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Smart.
Smart. You now have a 30-foot threatened range. Shoot all your friends.
That'd be cool, but that feat does not exist in the game.
Well,
I definitely wish it did.
there is specifically a ranged feat that does it.
Yeah, it's
but I
called
think it
it's
is-
called Snapshot, but it doesn't exist in Kingmaker.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
That makes sense now.
This is being a butt. It's not letting me
But you know it does
unselect
exist
people.
in-
I'm gonna have to exit the game real quick and then jump back in because the game is being a
We're all going to die.
Oh no!
probably, yeah.
Oh no, I've lost connection. Oh no.
Oh, reestablished.
I am the game master now.
Yeah, it was letting me select characters, but not unselect characters, and that's not helpful. There we go.
Indeed.
Not helpful at all.
What I was going to say though is Pathfinder Kingmaker. I like a lot of the game. Once the final patch goes through, when they're like well and truly done, and they just move on to that new game,
Yeah.
I'll get back into it fully with the mods because then they're not going to break mods and stuff. Man, I still just absolutely love the concept of the 6 beast companion party rolling up.
Oh, dude,
With like 6 Simolodons and the 2 goblins try and mug you, and it's like, bless your little hearts.
yeah, it
Bless
is.
your little hearts that you thought you had this.
Like with Amiri and Valerie in my group, and both as frontliners, I'm pretty sure that Dog is like Ekundio's Dog is still like the main melee force for my team. That
Oh, yeah,
dog
no,
is
it's,
a tank. So anyway, we'll jump back into this because I can sit here and talk video games for all day. So what would you all like to be doing?
I'm assuming we're going to continue with what we've been doing and checking out these rooms.
Okay.
The game is paused. I cannot move to the room.
Now it's not.
I've been freed.
I've been freed.
Ivan been freed.
Dillian, if you want to try and get into the door, I can assist you.
Okay. Kind of a small space to really be assisting me.
You're like
Or we're
putting
trying to-
you're putting your lockpicks in the lock, and he's like, now to the left, and you're like, that's not really helpful. And he's like, go to the right a little bit, and you're like, this is not gonna work.
I'm making the little. I make the little tink noises for him. Tink, tink,
Now,
tink, 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 tink. Slide to the left.
You know, part of this whole thing is going with audible clicks, and you're really not helping.
You're doing the Skyrim lockpicking game, and you keep breaking lockpicks, and he's like, too far that time.
But he says it just before you break the lockpick.
I actually
So that-
I don't mind the idea of somebody like helping out with a disabled device check. So Dannerin, if you would like to roll to assist.
I will roll to assist.
All
I
right.
assist.
Dillian, would you roll with a +2?
Sure.
Oh my god. You have broken this game's curse of the assist. You managed to roll higher than the person assisting you. I think that might be the first time in
I rolled a
literal-
19 and I was like, I've doomed him.
Yeah, that might be the first time in literal weeks that's happened. All right, Dillian.
Yeah.
You hear a satisfying click, and the door unlocks.
All right, just let me get right. What else could there be? And I'll open it.
This appears to be a stateroom that, in shape, form, and function, is fairly identical to the first 2. Unlike the second one, it doesn't look like this one has been hit by a hurricane. Like, the items are old, the items are partially rotted away, they are covered with a fine layer of ice, but they're not, like, smashed in place or anything like that.
Okay.
Zeract, if you would be so kind.
Yes. And then once the game is unpaused, I will move down there.
The game is unpaused.
Oh, you have to refresh.
You have to refresh. I had to restart the game.
Oh, I see. That explains it. I'm sitting there watching you move things around, and I'm like, it's clearly not. It's not. So, all right. And then Zeract will do the detect magic game.
Okay. So you detect magic. You are not detecting any magic in this room.
I'll look around for more mundane wealth.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're sort of like searching through the detritus in this room and trying to find wealth under the little layer of ice that's in here.
Objects of value. I got that many.
All right. So you find a couple of things in here. Number one is these weapons that are basically like imagine it like you have a ring in the middle, and then you have a chain coming from that ring, and the chain ends in a handle, and you have that same sort of chain with a handle coming from that ring 3 times, and the chain and the ring are both covered in spikes. So it's kind of like a 3-tined spiked chain. You find a pair of those on the ground over here that you're able to sort of like chisel out. You are able to identify that the craftsmanship is pretty good. They definitely need some work, thanks to the sort of weird preservation aura of the Resian Manifest Zone. They don't have nearly the amount of rust that you would think they should have over the amount of time that they've been here. But you have found a pair of masterwork spike chains. And then as you're sort of sifting through the desk, and by sifting through the desk, I mean that you kind of like walk over and you grab the sort of piece of wood on top and just pick it up and put it off to the side. And then you have the drawers to sort of like leaf through, because this thing falls apart in a touch. It's been here for too long and basically held upright by the ice that you're breaking away. You're able to pick through and discover essentially a little bit of wealth. You're finding about 45 coins of gold, but they're coins of gold that do not bear any stamp or any marking that you've ever seen. You also find 220 coins of silver that, again, bear no stamp or marking that you recognize at all. And you find a pair of garnets that are both sort of carved to be quick, like quick currency.
You're muted, bud.
Yep. Can I tell about how much the garnets are worth?
Give me an appraise check. You could easily get about 25 Galifar a piece for them.
Right.
They're not Kundarak rated or anything, or Kundarak carved, but you would estimate about 25 Galifar.
Right. It's bribing money is what that is.
Thought we were done with bribing after the last experience.
You're an Eberron.
Ideally.
You're never done with bribing.
Valid.
I just best to be prepared. And if nothing else, I might just request it out of the loot pile. Or someone might request some piece of jewelry or some inlaid family dagger or some nonsense. You never know. But I do have some coins here. Once we've finished rummaging through everything, I'll divvy it up for everybody.
Can Sharut see one of the coins?
Sure you can. Over there. And I toss it back towards the rest. Now, here you go. I'll just show him one of the gold coins.
Knowledge history.
Yeah, go ahead.
Though it's like probably fairly easy for me to tell. Like,
so there are various kind of like eras of the Dakani Empire. It lasted a long time. These would be the kind of like the latest era, the last era right before the fall. And they're coins. They're just used for trade. You have probably seen a couple hundred of these throughout your life, if not more. Ketchvalar is very insular and still believes real strongly in the Dakani, so you might have even used these to trade in your own hometown. To a collector,
Okay.
They might be worth double their face value, but that's probably about it.
I mean, I might know a collector because of the teacher I spoke to.
Kaya? Yeah.
Yeah.
She might do it, but like it's up to you. Like if the hassle of, getting one coin for 2 is worth it.
Sharut will mention this to Dandarin.
Might be able to get more worth from collector.
We can look into that for sure.
Shall we sally forth?
Indeed. What ho, the whippoorwill.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, another door. Oh no, this hall. Oh, well, this hallway is apparently death.
Dandarin, you see from where you are 5 doors and up to the head, or up ahead of you, the very last door. There's sort of a hallway going off to the left. None of these doors has a light near them. They are all. This whole tunnel is basically dark until Delian walks into it.
Oof, oof. Well, we're either about to have a wonderful time pilfering unexplored areas, or this is going to be a nightmare.
Why not both?
I rolled a 12.
You did.
Good for you, lad.
Thanks.
Well done.
I did it.
Oh no, the dice. They fell out of my pocket. Oh, let me just put those back.
The dice spell out the words, I killed Gruddick.
That would be weird for dice to do.
And you're
I feel
like,
as he's leaning down to pick up the dice, the shard falls out of his shadow zone.
Even though he's already given it to
Yeah.
he needed to.
Yeah, just somehow got back in there.
Fulcrum just hit it back on him.
This is going to be funny.
In his shadow realm without him knowing.
I'll just... That would be great for someone else to figure out that DeLeon has that and then to just start using it like a trash can.
That would suck out loud.
just like whenever they're done with a scroll or whatever, they like finish casting the scroll and then just ball up the paper and throw it into DeLeon's personal little shadow realm.
Well, the funny
Dexterity
thing
check.
is that
Here, you can have this. I don't need it anymore.
if there's enough stuff, it starts showing in his shadow. So he'll look back and go, "Hey, wait a minute."
And it's just your own shadow
My
just
ass
looks
isn't that
full of
fat.
paper and like pipes and rusty pieces of metal and cardboard boxes and shit.
Yeah, just all sorts of stuff.
It looks like somebody's trash can after Christmas.
Yes.
All right, I
Well.
say we go around and
Man.
Game Master's gonna kill us. He's rolling dice for no reason. We can see them. Leon, I'll assist you if you want to start on this one.
I don't want to start on any of them. They all have nothing, but you guys won't take that. So I guess we'll just do the thing.
What do you mean? We literally just found the money.
DeLeon,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
does a
What's
14
up?
hit your flat-footed AC?
Let's see. It doesn't.
Oh man. Okay, so you step up and you're like, all right, I'll start picking at the lock. And as you chip away just a little bit of that layer of ice, just enough to like get your picks into the lock, the ice above the sort of door handle shatters, and this scything blade drops down and swipes at where your wrists would have been,
Yeah.
and then just sinks right back into the wall. And you hear this click click.
I think I'm gonna take some time off. I think I need to just sit down for a second. My life just flashed before my eyes.
Well, that's that's perfectly reasonable. Can you since I've seen the trap go off, John Eric,
Yeah.
can I make an engineering test to see if I can know where to disable it?
That's just the disable device check. So yeah,
Okay.
you can make a
Then, yeah.
disable device check.
Oh no.
Okay. Well. Oh,
Jesus.
Hoofta.
Well, guys,
Well.
it's been fun.
I don't confirm.
Oh,
No.
Dandarin, as you're like, okay, I saw it happen. I think I know what to do. And you go up and you start tinkering with this thing. You start to feel this tension in there, and you're like, yeah, that must be the release switch. And then you try to hold it up while you disarm it a little bit, and then there's this building pressure on your right hand, and you realize it's about to trigger, and before you can fully move away, that blade comes down and it just hits you right in the wrist. It basically blows through your left bracer, and you get a disastrous cut to your left forearm. And then as you back up and pull your hand away, the blade rotates back in, and you hear this click click.
Wait. Hold on.
Sure, it's like
He's going to
already-
hand a potion to Tizeract and say, warm that up for me, would you? Oh. And he's going to very carefully and gingerly unsling his bardish and be like, the other way it is then.
Shrewd's before Zeract has a chance to like warm up the potion, Shrewd's already motioning him towards him.
Okay.
Come here. Come here.
I'm gonna look at both of you and just be like, why are you wasted? We have berries. Dandrin, you haven't had many of these yet, have you?
Don't know that I've had any.
Well,
Think.
then you should use them.
All right, Sharut. Yeah, take a look.
Sharut looks at Zaract and says,
Think berries should be saved for combat. Yes.
That's somewhat viable. I can hand them out, and then you can just use them as you see fit.
Easier
Oh,
for
that's
us to eat berries during combat. Yes.
smart something fish. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
oh.
he's...
aren't you able to do doctoring while people are in combat? Like, isn't that one of the benefits of Scholar?
I am, but it incurs an attack of opportunity. So it's like...
Oh, gotcha.
So, like, I can do it. It is possible, but it's probably more beneficial if people have multiple sources of healing in case I can't get to them, right? Or I can't
imagine
shoot
that
them with a bolt.
That
higher
makes
levels
sense.
it stops costing
Okay.
attacks opportunity.
Go ahead
Okay.
and roll your heal check to.
Yes.
Jeez, dude.
It's the best.
So that's 18. You healed 19 points of damage on Dandelion.
Your arm feels better than it did before it got cut.
Yeah, it does. Oh, that
Now
feels,
you are
that
strong
feels
like
wonderful.
goblin.
Anyway, here I go, breaking the. I'm gonna, John Eric, I will take the appropriate amount of time to beat this to death with my Bardish. I'm just gonna bust up the trap and bust up the lock.
Okay. So what you're finding is that with essentially every single hit against this trap, the trap springs again.
Mhm.
You swing at it, and that blade comes down, and then there's that click click at the end. And then you swing at it, and the blade comes down, and there's that click click. You will be able to break this down. This takes much longer than the other places that you were at.
But yeah, obviously they care more about this door. It's got a trap on it.
Click, click.
Yeah, click click. While
If
you're
it-
doing that, can I get everybody to please give me a fortitude save? This is
Because it's
versus cold. So you all get your +5.
Question. Since I'm assuming this is going to take a long period of time, fuck. Can Sharut take 15 minutes to make a healing salve?
Yeah, 15 minutes is about what it takes standard.
Whoa. Okay.
That is a low roll, but it is not a low enough roll.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oleo freeze is solid.
So
He's going to be sitting out in a freezing hallway for 15 minutes. Like, Zaract will make a fire. This is fine.
yeah, I mean, you normally, yes, not after I've said make the save against cold. No.
That's fair, but also it would be useful now when you're highlighting time. I'll come back around to it.
So
Well, you can have it ready to go for the future, just so you have a quick fire kit.
I am a quick fire kit. Myself.
Well, next
No,
time.
don't
next
worry
time-
about it.
Next time he just knows to be like, okay, if this is gonna take a while, fire kind of thing. Yeah, Sharut makes it. I don't have to do the roll unless I increase the DC, and I don't want to do that right now. But he'll put it also in a bolt vial.
Okay, cool. Dandarin, you are eventually able to knock down and break through the lock of this door, which seems to have been far more finely crafted than some of the others that you were looking at.
Sure. Before I open it, I will switch back to the hammer and shield.
Okay, so you switch back over to your hammer and shield, and go ahead and give me an open. So what you see is a fairly grisly sight that is mostly it is slats of wood, rotted wood, and then the sort of half desiccated, half frozen mass of bones and bodies that you would say that there were people just packed into this room. The room is about 9 feet tall, and it had 4 bunks per wall. And so basically you had 12 different bunks with 12 different bodies.
Oof.
It doesn't smell because everything's frozen, but clearly these things have been here and been dead for a while.
Eesh. Grim sight. Those with a weak stomach should best not view it. Now comes the practical part. And if Zaract wants to look for magic, I'll look for practical things. I spent the time opening this place.
Yeah. Zeract, you are detecting basically nothing of note that's magical in this place. Dandarin, you are finding nothing of note of value in here. These, whatever was in here, you are seeing. Basically, there's these beings were not even really fully clothed. You're seeing a lot of like very loose fitting, though like thick remnants of trousers and shirts, and the occasional hat, but no shoes. You're also finding a lot of basically every other body or so has a or sorry, not every other body, but every other bunk, or the remnants of where the bunk would have been in the wall. You are able to find a ring set into the wall from which a chain connected to a manacle is placed.
Mm. Well, I'm sure glad I took the time to open that room. Oof.
I think Sharut will peek inside and just be able to tell what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously just like a slave holding pen.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. It's a slave holding pen. Especially considering the fact that you found a sort of like outsider's marketplace to your south down here.
Yeah.
It's a slave holding pen.
It's based on so can I roll kind of a knowledge local then to see if I can tell if these would all just be slave holding pens to save us time? Based on the proximity of this one, the layout.
Knowledge local probably wouldn't work. If you have engineering, because engineering is 2 skills. Engineering is engineering and architecture. Or or history would work.
I have engineering.
Yeah, you can roll. Go ahead and roll engineering and architecture.
I'll also roll engineering.
Given the layout of this place and generally how it is, you think that yes, the ones up here, this one, and this one are probably all that. This one is not. The lock looks a little different. The door looks a little different. Just doesn't seem like it has the same amount of like heft and protection to it, or the same amount of thickness to it, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Elaine, if you want to come give me a hand with this door, this one looks like it might actually be promising. We don't have to worry about these ones, if I'm correct, Sharut.
And Sharut, you come to pretty much the same answer.
You are correct. Doors likely trapped to prevent escape.
So this is a slave area. I fail to see the merit in opening what this door could be. I'll do it. It just doesn't make sense.
Duly noted. All part of the exploration. Here, I'll give you a hand. I will attempt to assist him. Oh no.
Now you've done it.
Okay. We make a decent team, Dillian.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, Dillian, you sort of get in there and you're like, this thing has the same trap that's on the other doors. The trick to this one is that instead of sort of falling from the top and swinging across the side and then going back down in the bottom, this one sort of comes up from the bottom and goes the other way. And you're just like, nope, not going to be tricked again. And you manage to just sort of unhook the tension spring from the trigger mechanism, and you have it good and disabled, and then you're able to kind of like, slip your picks into the lock and wiggle it around a little bit and click, and then it is unlocked.
All right. Feel free to open it, Dandarin.
And so I shall. Ready with the hammer.
Okay. Dandarin, you open the door, and what you see inside is the sort of ice-covered, sort of rotten remnants of a desk right here with a shelf on the other side. In front of the desk, on what probably was a chair, is you see a hobgoblin, like laying on the ground, still fully armored, fully like helm and mail. The old Dakani mail is sort of like this. It's not pretty. It is incredibly functional. So like nothing is made for like how it looks. It's just made to be extremely protective. And so he just has this sort of like breastplate over scale mail, kind of like halberd / coat thing. And there's a helm on, and then in one hand near one hand there's a dagger, and that's all you see.
This
All
is
right.
a hobgoblin, not a God. Why am I blanking on the
A
name?
Dolgaunt?
Yes.
No, it's a hobgoblin. It is a frozen desiccated corpse. It hasn't had a chance to fully rot away because of how cold it is here. But it's also it's still rotted a bit, but it's too cold for it to fully do what it should.
I'm sure this is probably a really difficult check. But would Shrew be able to determine when this hobgoblin died?
Like when, like timeline wise?
Yes.
There's no chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he would still examine it out of curiosity.
Oh, you can totally examine the body, but then you can't be like, it was in -453 YK.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He died 1,457 years ago, 53 days, 26 minutes
Yeah.
to this hour.
It
in
was
5
during
seconds.
the latest episode of Perry Mason. No, but you can still go and examine the corpse, though.
You can tell by the chicken bone enlarged in his throat.
While he's examining the corpse.
Sniff, sniff. 2 granddaughters and a third child. Smells male.
In the rash line of the family, I believe.
Oh, he's just making it up. While he examines the body, I will examine the items.
Sure. Give me an appraise check.
All right, I'll appraise. So the order I'm going to go in, you said there was a knife, the dude's armor, and then what was the other thing?
That was pretty much it. The knife and then his armor are the only things that are immediately visible. He does have a weapon at his belt. Not on his belt, but it's sort of like nearby. That is just a heavy flail.
Okay.
Does any detect his magic?
Yes. Zorak, you are getting a bit of magic from the knife. It is a necromancy. You're getting necromancy from the knife. Sharut, when you examine the body, you find that whoever this being was, they died of self-inflicted wounds. They sat in this chair, and you are able to sort of put together from like the grip and the scene that you saw, and then what you see looking at him, that this person slit their own throat.
Sharut.
And from that,
No.
sorry, go ahead.
Sharut just doesn't know how to feel about this. Because like putting it together, this dude obviously had the choice of either becoming corrupted by the madness or taking his own life. And he's thinking on it. And he's like, what would he do if he was faced with that kind of decision? And what decision would bring honor? What decision would bring more honor? And he's just still trying to piece it together. He can't fathom it. Yeah.
I will examine the knife.
Dandrin. So there's kind of a fabled type of thing that you've heard that some assassins carry called a keeper's blade. And the terrible thing about a keeper's blade is that they make, in a world where resurrection and raising the dead are possible but still extremely rare, they take away even those options. This is something that when it kills a person, it traps their soul, and so like resurrection isn't even possible. You have to go for much, much higher levels of magic, and Eberron is a place that most, like, there's like 3 people in the world who can actually cast that level of magic. This is not a keeper's blade. It is a weaker version of that sort of thing. This is capable of holding one soul in a black gem, like a little black and blue sparkly bit that's kept on the pommel of the knife, and judging by the sort of like faint glow that's within that gem, it is currently holding it.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
This is
Oh shit.
a grim thing.
That
He's a
means
smart boy.
that means his own soul is in that gem.
Faced with the madness, this was an excellent choice.
So what happens after you like destroy the gem? Does it destroy the soul?
It wouldn't necessarily destroy the soul, but it would sort of like put it back out there.
Which then, if possible, you could potentially try and resurrect.
So, do you have knowledge religion?
I do not.
Do any of you have knowledge religion?
I believe I do, yes.
Lumia, would you like to give us knowledge religion?
Sure. There's a slim chance here, but we'll see what it did. No.
It's soul and resurrection type stuff is really touchy. It's incredibly hard to resurrect somebody in Eberron. These knives make it even harder, and basically what they do is they put like a series of blocks in the middle of it. So breaking the gem doesn't necessarily put the soul back out there. It just gets it out of the knife. Lumio tries to like figure out more about it, but it's so unknown that he can't really formulate more than that.
I barely know how to make a baby warforged.
And by barely, he absolutely doesn't.
I have been not told. I am.
There are baby warforged?
Absolutely
There could be.
not.
But no one will let me know.
No one tells me
I-
anything.
Just want to know how to make babies.
Well, Lumio, when a mommy warforged and a daddy warforged love each other very much.
Doesn't work that way. I checked.
I was going to say, they go to a soul forge and they have someone produce one for them. Let me finish next time. Don't just cut me off. Assuming you know what I'm going to say.
Can I finish?
No.
That's
John Eric?
super
Please.
interesting because potentially, again, I might be way off the mark here. Potentially, we could resurrect that dude, and he could be an invaluable source of information.
Mhm.
Give me a like a knowledge history check there, Shrewd. What this person did is probably one of the most desperate things Sharut has ever encountered. In order to escape a foe that can't be beaten, because the Dakani don't tend to back down. Sharut would probably know that what you do against an enemy commander who you think is going to beat you, and if you die, resurrect you to use you for information, would be to do this to yourself in hopes that one of your men, somebody close to you, would find this and shatter the gem for you.
Okay.
So like Sharut's thoughts are probably going in like the exact opposite of what they what
I'm thinking.
what the user would have intended.
Or what these blades were intended to do.
Yeah, like these were very much the like, we cannot win this fight, so the 60 of us will use our blades, and then Tom comes by and shatters all the gems or something like that.
I guess in that case, Sharut would look towards Dandrin and say,
Sharut thinks you should shatter gem.
Would shattering the gem destroy the value of the knife, or could like another gem be slotted in?
So the knife is still going to be a masterwork dagger. That doesn't change. But the magic item is the gem itself, not the knife.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in that case, Dandrin just pops the gem off the knife and just puts
Okay.
on the hammer.
And can everybody give me a will save real quick?
Hey.
Oh no, I've doomed us.
Nope. Here.
Is this a spell effect, John Eric?
It is technically magic, yeah.
Hey.
Look at all you guys are in this terrible dungeon, and you're like, yeah, it's a ghost. Big whoop. Yeah, you guys all see this just elongated, screaming specter of this hobgoblin lieutenant fly out of this gym and just vanish in a scream into the ether. And you're all just like, yeah, that went about as we planned.
Yeah.
Yep, just as expected.
With Sherwood providing historical context and his like, this was the last thing. That's that's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like it wasn't a great death, but we did something.
And for Sidna and Corley are like, yep.
Considering options, this is probably best result for him.
Then Sharut's
Want the
gonna go.
knife?
Having his soul released and not being corrupted. Sharut's gonna ransack this room.
Okay. Can you give me a perception check?
I can. Da-da.
All right. So, sir, you are able to find a smattering of treasure. You are able to find 32 Dakani Platinum and an additional 112 Dakani Gold. In addition,
You said 102.
112.
112.
It's 32 Platinum and 112 Gold.
Okay.
In addition, you are able to find there's basically just this layer of ice on everything, and you're able to kind of like carefully chip away at some of the ice that's on the top layer of the remnants of the desk, and under it you see basically it's not so much parchment as hide. It's just like a strip of hide that has someone has scrawled on somewhat hastily, but it's very messy, it's very old, and the water and the rot and everything, it's really making this hard to read. Do you have linguistics as a skill?
Don't believe I do. I'm trained in it, but I don't have a spell point in it, or I don't have a rank in it.
You're looking at this and you cannot fully make out what's going on in this.
I will show it to Lumio.
Oh, not the right thing. So there we go.
Jeez, Lumio. Jeez.
I studied a little ancient Dakani in whatever 3 weeks ago was.
In Warforged College.
Yeah.
Back in Warforged College. I minored in Dakani.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna.
But it was really
major
was
was.
a project, so I don't think
I
I
want to look. I want to look at the map.
All
His
right.
major was politics.
Poli-sci, yeah.
So, Lumio, what this reads as is the following. It says, Ol Sharak has finally fallen. The Speared Lord lies corrupt, but dead and guarded. As many of those spawn of the Dale Kier as we could lure and trap we have done so. We have sent runners in every direction to every settlement to let them know that Ol Sharak is no longer the center of the Kaldurg's empire. There is no more of the Kaldurg's empire. Spearhold is a ruin. And then there's a space, and then in a bit more of a stable hand, it says, I am sorry for what I have done to those in the pins, and for what I may have unleashed on those above. It was necessary to attempt to secure the citadel. Should you choose not to free me, I would understand. And then there is basically it's like a rank insignia. It's like a trio of triangles with a spear through it. That's sort of drawn by like pressing a pin awkwardly into the hide. And then the name is Holkerg Grazda.
Yeah.
So you would probably recognize the three triangles and the spear as like a military rank.
I would attempt to translate that into a more recognizable goblin script for him.
I mean, Sharut would be able to understand Old Dakani, I think, because
So
he's seen it written on the walls here.
it's not that you are unable to read Old Dakani. It's that the language was so screwed up that you couldn't make it out. Like Sharut understands the language. Sharut is not a linguist. Like, you are without the ability to like roll linguistics, unable to actually parse through and draw the connections that you need.
No, no. What I mean is, I don't think Lumio would need to.
Oh, would need to translate it? No, like
Yeah,
like if
he wouldn't need to translate it. So Sharut would be able to understand that as he spoke it, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he
Sharut would
can't
be able
parse he can't parse the missing information, but with Lumio speaking it to him in that old tongue, he would be able to understand it, no problem.
yeah.
Okay, so instead of thinking it's about understanding, it's like there's old words that may have fallen into disuse that you might want to save or something along those lines is what Lumio is thinking about.
Yeah.
Not that you're not understanding what he's saying, because he just said it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done the translating, but he's doing a kind of a, he knows you understand history and want to preserve things. He's providing you with a olive branch of things.
I feel like
Clear.
as he starts speaking, like Sharut doesn't tell him to stop. He just pulls off his backpack and pulls out another piece of paper and a writing utensil and starts scribbling it down word for word.
Mhm.
Could you perhaps put that message in the chat?
I will, yeah.
So I could, but yeah, he just starts writing away as Lumio's talking.
Mhm.
And once they're done, I feel like he would gingerly roll up the letter and store it away someplace safe.
And this is your first time encountering the name, the Dakani that dwelled here, actually used for this place, which is Ol Sharak, which is basically like a combination of like spear and wielder and city.
Ol Sharak. That sounds fun to say. Would you be able to put the whole text later in the
Yeah,
Discord in chat?
I'll give you the whole text later.
Cool. All right. Yeah. And Sharut also lets the group know that he found some coin that might be able to turn over to another collector. And I say we should continue onward.
Cool beans.
All right.
And then on we travel. Looks like this way connects back to where we were.
Yeah, you guys were you were able to sort of like see up this way from the main thoroughfare. So yeah, you do see that there's a door in front that you could assume is sort of the same kind of hallway.
There's still another door back the way we came.
Yes, the one that you didn't melt.
Yes.
Oh, if you're willing to melt it, we can give it a shot.
Like two. Surect points out the other one behind the Remoraz, and then the one that's further back.
Ah, all right. May as well clear it.
Yeah. And Dandelion, when you go forward and you open the door, like light comes in, so you know that you're at that place where there's that light that's right in front of the door.
So there's this door, and then
that door
There's one over there.
you have all tried a lot, and no one is able to get through yet.
This is the one that's not melted, correct?
It's not melted, but they have like, unless you guys are going to, I'm gonna stand here and beat this one down, there's no getting through it. They have both failed their disable device checks against it by a large margin.
I mean, I feel like we know what's on the other side of this door just based off of the.
Surect will detect magic through it because it works through stone to some degree.
Yes.
saying there's magic behind that door.
Yes.
Can you hone in on magic?
That's the question. Can I find out how much and of what kinds?
Numerous, like in the dozens, and all different. It's the same as this one, which you never detected magic on.
That's true.
Oof.
Well, but these are, as I recall, these ones are not original. They're new, which means they're likely from the priests rather than from the Dakani themselves.
Ah, so we'd be robbing directly from them.
Right.
No, we can't do that.
Not what we're looking for.
Not at all.
No. If it's ancient, we can pilfer, but I'll not steal from the clergy.
If it's ancient, we can pilfer. Those people aren't real, he says, standing next to a Dakani goblin.
They're just a myth and legend.
Sharut no like this word. Think, reclaim, better.
Repurpose.
I'm going to repurpose your wealth. I'll buy fine wine with it, and then I will drink it above your head, and I will drink messily so that some of it trickles down. That's economics.
You will be horse.
The trickle
caretaker.
down theory. I've heard of such a thing.
You will be horse caretaker in New Goblin Empire.
Moving on up.
All right. So, Delee and Dandarin, what are you guys doing?
Leon, I'll help you out.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Crazy. We are going crazy.
That seems like it.
Indeed.
Oh,
Oh no,
that
the
door.
madness of the Dakani is coming upon us.
I think this is a fresh madness.
Oh, new madness is next Tuesday. It can't be today.
Be careful. Speaking of madness, Sharut is unsteady here already. No need to remind him of the downfall of his people.
I
There's
feel like there's enough reminders.
there's another one that should be happening here.
I feel like that scene in SpongeBob where he's showing the reminders of the fallen Dakani Empire, pointing at the various things, larger and larger piles of.
Reminders.
Oh, the meme.
Yeah.
With the clam episode. Yeah. Yeah.
Deleen, I'm real sorry about this.
It is what it is.
All right. For Deleen, flat-footed AC. Ooh. For Dandarin, flat-footed AC.
Like, you didn't hit me at all.
Does a 17 hit you, flat-footed, Eric?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it did. Fucking well-armored mook. So yeah, he's like, the two of you are standing there and doing this thing, and then Deleen, you hear this like click, and you go, and you take a step back, and it's kind of a jumping step back, and you manage to just skirt where this scything blade comes out from the side and swings at about an ankle height. And you see it hit the door, and then it retracts back into the wall, and you hear that like snapping click as it goes in, and then you see another one come out and just slam into Dandarin's chest, and Dandarin goes, ugh, and then it just kind of like goes back in.
So, this bears the question: what is our goal here? Because there's a lot of peril, and it's not infrequent. It's actually quite frequent, and it's not even the creatures. I know we're trying to look for like historical artifacts and stuff, but my goodness.
I thought
we
that
have
this
found
is
a
what
fair
you were
number.
here for.
Zeract.
Mm.
Wait, Zeract, you can detect magic through doors.
Yes.
Is it worth it?
Look, not all of the historical artifacts, or obviously funds, as we've identified here, are going to be magically oriented. I can tell you some things, but at some point we're going to have to get through these doors. Zerak's still going to
This
detect
is a
magic through the
particularly
door.
dangerous door.
Do you say Zerak's still going to detect magic through the door?
Yeah,
And you have it through a foot of stone, right?
correct.
You do not detect any magic.
I'm not getting anything here.
So,
Sharut, understand, we are looking for magical artifacts. But based on what we found last, there could be items of worth. With that said, Sharut, fine, moving on. If you do not want to go through, Sharut, understand.
We'll give it one more try. Delian, you help me this time.
Thought is that we might be able to turn some of this wooden detritus into burnables. They don't seem to have much in the way of structure to them much anymore.
Wait. Just well, yes, for melting the ice, I assume. But there's a question that's begged answering. Where the two spikes came out of, I know where those are now, right?
Yeah.
Right. I've got a climbing kit. I take out some batons and I block them.
So, hold on. Disable device is a skill, and it is a skill for a reason.
I have to say with the device, I can roll it with the climbing kit as if I had tools, maybe.
Okay, I'm just saying, it cannot be hilariously overcome with everything that's not disable device.
But is it a wedge?
I don't know,
Because we've already determined that wedges have a secret power.
I mean, climbing kit doesn't have wedges, but I have wedges. Yes.
I mean, a climbing kit does have wedges. That's what it has.
Pythons are wedges.
Yeah.
So yes.
It just
So
yes.
they're a type of wedge, yes.
A climbing
It has
kit is
batons.
basically just like pitons and rope.
Right.
So technically, you have
Really?
the ability to destroy a level or a CR30 monster in your climbing kit, which is it's just really good.
I mean, for the
It's like
cost,
the level
yeah.
what 3 cleric that can cure disease and wipe out a black ooze. Yeah, I guess I'll roll it. Leon, help me. Help
Would
me
he-
set these batons.
Would he be able to get a tools bonus though from using the pythons?
Yeah, John Eric, if I'm using part of the climbing kit creatively as tools.
You would maybe be able to get a bonus if it tries to hit you. But
Okay.
you
So
basically
just a regular-
you have to be like at the door to try to disable the trap. And so if you're not at the door because you're Spider-Manning away 10 feet, like there's only so much leeway there. It could give you a bonus to your AC from the trap trying to hit you, but it won't necessarily negate it.
That's fine. I'll take that. So
Okay.
I'll attempt to disable the trap.
Also, Delian's roll.
It did not assist me.
No, it's with a plus.
Yeah.
He didn't do his plus.
Yeah.
So it does
So
assist
with
you.
with his plus, he'll be able to assist you.
Oh, okay.
So you are unable to disable it. However, it doesn't lash out and attempt to kill you.
Okay. So I got close, but no cigar.
Basically, yeah. You're like tinkering with it, and you're like, and click, and after the click, there's you know, kind of put the tools back in there, and you still feel all of that tension. You still feel that the trap is ready to go.
Dang it. No, I said we'd give it one more go, and I didn't quite get it. So just recover the stuff, and we'll head out.
Okay.
Before we head out, can Sharut do a perception check to see if this door is labeled in any way, like some of the other rooms we've come across?
Sure. Go ahead and give me your perception roll. It is covered by ice, but you're able to chip away at it, and it is labeled the following quote: torture and re-education.
Yeah, maybe not there.
Sharut's gonna say out loud.
Sharut, do not think we want to go in this direction.
And so we shall not.
He's not gonna tell them what the thing he found means.
That's fine. That's just fine.
Yeah, not gonna share that information with his comrades.
Man, these are
Lumio, what's that on the door? Can you read that?
It's
I
nothing.
can't. I don't want to.
No time.
I too,
Let's go.
I too speak Goblin and know what it says. Let us leave this place.
Zorak, do you know what it says?
I'm not here as your translator.
Good. Good.
Well, I'm glad that some kind of innovation came from that. My suggestion actually was this is probably the warmest it's going to be, and it's clear that these rooms aren't explored. If we need to fall back, we could gather some of the smashed wood and use it as kindling to start up a fire and perhaps camp for a little while.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we could, since we know it's a big circle, we can swing back around, grab some of the detritus that's flammable, and
Also have another option.
And Sharut reaches into like a pocket and pulls
oh
out.
no, we can't set Lumio on fire.
No. He reaches into a pocket and he pulls out a coin. And it is a campsite feather token.
I mean, if we have the option of using existing materials, then I think that is the more pragmatic approach.
Saving the magic for when we don't have an option.
Precisely.
so.
Sharut thought best to share information.
And he puts it away.
Dandrin, please give me a perception check.
Oh boy, I love giving perception checks. It wouldn't happen to be for unusual stonework, would it?
Dandrin, roll the die.
I rolled bad.
Who even knows what things are these days? So, what would you guys like to do?
Continue to skip down these lovely halls.
Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna move everyone real quick. You go down and down and down and down this hall, and you reach a point about right here
Oh hey, it's more stairs. Is there a salt bucket?
where the stairs kind of go down into what looks to be an almost solid black wall. And it's a solid black wall that looking at it, it kind of like Delian has his light right here, and it's not really reflecting the light except
has her lantern
except enough to show you that the wall is like slightly wet. That sort of same black ice sheen that, like, if any of you have ever seen black ice, where that doesn't look like ice, it looks wet. So what you're seeing is just this solidly like wet, our slightly shiny black wall right here, and it.
Yeah.
And I mean that same layer of ice goes all of this way, but right here, black. Zeract.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll a die and a number.
I also would like to roll a die and a number. Is there a
sounds
particular
great.
one?
This particular die and number combo would be a D20 plus 11.
Okay. I don't have anything that is a D20 plus 11, but
Why not? Your sheet says you do.
does it?
Yep.
Are you accounting for bonuses from my class?
I'm accounting for nothing. I'm looking at your sheet.
I'm looking at my sheet too, and it says I have I've got 13s and a lot of stuff.
Mythweavers is the source of truth.
Mythweavers. Hold on a second. I haven't updated with the most
Terrible.
recent level adaptation.
Please roll me a D20 plus 13.
Thank you.
And then update Mythweavers.
I mean, it's right here, man. Like it's in the tool we're using. But I will.
So everybody's sheet isn't in the tool that we're using. So I expect everybody's sheet to be in Mythweaver. Zeract, you got enough to identify it, but not enough to identify everything about it. The wall in front of you is not stone. The wall in front of you is Resian black ice, also sometimes called Stygian black ice. You know that it's bad. You've heard about it before. You don't fully remember why.
Zeract is gonna grumble and push her way to the front, up to the wall, about here.
Okay.
She's gonna say, "Look, this is bad. I can't recall all the details, but I know this is bad. Look, I'm going to try and melt this and then be ready to run. If I'm not in shape to do so afterwards, I might need somebody to pull me out."
Sharut will prepare an attack action in case something jumps out to hurt.
Dandrin will also brace to be charged.
Dandrin should also move back 10 feet.
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I'll move back.
All right. And then Zeract will explode.
Okay. That's, what is it, like 3d6 fire damage?
Yep.
Okay, that's enough to, you see a couple inches of the wall sort of melt, and it sloughs off in this slushy mixture of sort of black water and this viscous steam that rises into the sky, or into the air of the cave, and then dissipates a little bit. It doesn't fully shatter. You haven't broken your way through, but a little bit of it goes away.
She can do this every 30 seconds. So,
Okay.
While she's doing it, she's going to suggest that folks grab some of the wood scrap and set an amount of it just in her range behind her to start a fire that they could then scooch back and stay warm with.
Sharut will also ask Lumio.
Lumio, can help Zeract?
Points towards the ice.
Sort of. Not intentionally, unfortunately.
When I make fire, it's always accidental and someone always dies. But I'll do it if you want me to.
His words, not mine, but yes.
Thought best to ask.
And he'll go off and gather some detritus. That's the word I'm looking for, right?
Yeah, you can find, you can like grab some of the pieces of wood that were making up the shelf, or the various beds or desks or whatever.
And he'll start a little fire for everybody.
Okay, can you give me a survival check?
I can.
Hey,
Yes.
you make fire.
He doesn't need to. He just needs to corral it. I light everything that's flammable within range.
I ignore Sharut.
Yeah, but if you're moving forward and he's building it around them, so that they stay
That's
warm and they don't explode. Yeah, you made fire. Things are warm enough that for the time that this takes, you guys don't have to go through, or don't have to make fort save. Zeract, this is slow going. This is very slow going.
Yeah, a couple inches at a time.
You are able to do a couple inches at a time, and those couple inches after 20 minutes have gotten you a couple feet in, and like it's just going and just going and just go. And you are using this ability, this and then wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for about a solid hour before you actually on one of them, about an hour and 5 minutes in, you're and you see it just kind of like shatter at the end, and then you see chunks of this stuff fall down. And there's been chunks kind of like dropping and steaming from it behind you the whole time you've been going in. But there's a point where, like, if they're going to stay close to you, they're all going to be in the tunnel that you're making.
Right.
So you're probably just kind of going in on your own.
Yeah, to a degree. Although, how much of this is left on the floor in terms of water when Zeract is pushing through? Because I know it's melting.
So the thing is that it's melting, but once it's on the ground, it's sort of reforming. Like you are not absolutely destroying it. You're kind of breaking some of the ice apart, and then chunks fall, and then as you move on and you're making more water and stuff like that, like it's just forming a nice carpet of ice behind you.
Zeract will continue to she'll head back to clear the path behind, and then see if she can go grab that bucket of salt so that she can make a clear path through it.
Okay. Can you give me an acrobatics check, please?
I mean, she'll take the time to continue to melt it. She's not walking over the ice.
Dope. Can you give me an acrobatics check, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. You make it through, no problem. And
Okay.
you are able to come basically all the way back down here, like over in this area, and grab the last of that bucket of ice, and then come over here.
Mhm.
And
She's gonna start laying it down because it shouldn't melt, or it shouldn't refreeze, at least on the little path that she's making.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool.
And then she'll kind of go it alone.
Okay. And yeah.
I mean, if she's laying down ice or laying down salt at that point, wouldn't we?
You can't be within 10 feet of me.
Well, at this point,
Well,
like I
we
said,
can-
you have blown through. You have blown through an opening.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's much farther than 10 feet where the opening is.
Yeah.
So we would continue with you if you're putting down ice so we can slip.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, can everybody please roll me an acrobatics check?
Do you need another one?
Yes, I need one from everybody.
Okay.
Fucking Dandarin, perfect. Dandarin, can you roll me a will save, please? It's not magic. Well, it is magic, but it's not a spell. Okay.
It's not a spell or spell-like ability. Is it a poison? I'm rolling it, but
God damn it.
not that it matters.
Okay. So you guys are all walking through this area, and you actually have a bit of grip on the ground. It is basically a tunnel made of ice, and the only reason it is not incredibly slick is because there is that sort of trail, the handfuls of sand that have been, or sand and salt that have been sort of like spread around, that are providing some respite. Not a lot, but some. And they're making it a little bit easier. And as you're walking through, Denderin, you just take a nasty spill, and you kind of like put your hands forward to catch yourself, and then your hands spread out as soon as they hit the ground in the slickness, and you press your face up against the ice, and you have this kind of like fleeting image of, oh man, this is terrible. Like, everything about the last day has just been really, really bad. And then that whole memory just vanishes. And
Oh no.
and you wake up, or not wake up, but you sit up, and the last day's real fuzzy, and you take 2 points of wisdom damage.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Eberron sucks.
And the rest of you, if you would like, give me a sense motive checks.
Sense motive. Weird.
Oh.
Lumio and Zeract, the two of you look at Dandarin, and like he just fell, yeah, but he looks baffled, like he looks confused.
Dandarin, stand up. Don't touch the ice. Walk along the path.
I tried. I didn't. I think I did. Wait.
Walk. No. We'll reminisce when we get to the other side. Come on. Let's walk down the path. Don't touch the ice.
Hold on. I'm going to hit skip cutscene.
No,
Yeah.
that's not a real button, Dandarin. Come on.
Yeah, basically, like Dandarin reloads his last save, which was before all of this, and then he skips cutscenes up to now and has no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sharut, see no bump. Continue walking.
You're a shit doctor.
All right, and I'm gonna move everyone together real quick so that I can copy and paste some dudes.
I like how he said you're a shit doctor because he forgot the gaping blade slash that Fruit
Correct.
just healed.
Correct.
That
All
his-
the healing you
That
can
his
for me.
arm is still bandaged up in.
How did I cut my arm? Sharut fixed it.
Not very well.
I don't believe you. You're a bad doctor. Yeah, look how bad it is.
All right,
Dillian, can
You
you,
know,
believe this
Dandarin.
guy?
So-
Dandarin, while you're thinking about it, there's a locked door back there that we could try.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we just...
technically, the you that you are now did not fail at this. The you that you were then failed.
He's somehow
Right.
better at it.
You see, in this TED Talk, I will no.
Oh, still terrible.
So you guys are walking through this tunnel that Zeract made for a good 10 minutes or so, of just the like, you can see in front of you and you can see behind you because of the light that Zeract is holding and the light that Dillian's holding, but you can't see like anything around you. It looks like the ceiling, the walls, what you're walking on, it almost looks like it just doesn't exist except for the sort of faint sheen of the ice. And that's about it. And then eventually you manage to get through all that and you're passing some chunks of this black ice and you get out on the other side into this cave. It once again looks like, instead of being in a tunnel made out of ice carved by fire, you are in a cave with a thin sheen of Arctic frost all over it.
Do the caves look carved?
The caves look like enhanced natural caves. So like these are natural caves that have been widened at points. The spot behind you is basically like about as much as Zeract could like quickly blast through, even given how much she was blasting. And then so like this right here is right about where the black ice stops.
Okay. I had another question, but I just lost it. Shit.
Cool. Anybody else?
Is this more direct Rissian ice, or does it look natural?
There's no glow to any of this. This looks for the most part to just be like ice due to water vapor and cold.
Okay.
Not one of the two kinds of sort of extraplanar ice that you've seen so far.
I'm excited to go back and try and collect some of that. Yeah, we're good. Good.
I guess.
Is it? It's much colder down here. Yes.
Oh, it is extremely cold.
Okay. That was my other question. And is it? Would I be? Since Sharut has lived underground, he would be able to tell if this was a natural cold or if it's more of the manifest zone, right?
Yeah. Sharut has probably never in his life, and I'm counting the fact that he grew up in the Morgul Mountains and has maybe even climbed a peak at some point. You've probably never been anywhere this cold.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign.
Like, typically
heading
caves are sort of like, you go into a cave and it's cold at first, and if you go deeper, it starts to get warm. You guys went into a cave and it was cold at first, and then you went deeper, and it started to get way colder, and now you went through an ice tunnel, and you're in a spot that is just, like, bone-chillingly cold.
we only have one torch right now, correct?
I believe Zorak still has. Zorak, is
Zorak
your
has a
lantern an ever-burning lantern, or is it like a lantern?
It's a normal lantern with oil, but I have extra oil.
Okay, so Zorak still has the ever-burning lantern, and then Delian has the small, like, glowing blue disc that he was holding.
Let me check my equipment here real quick.
It
'cause I
has
think-
been a bit. Do you want me to deduct one of the vials of oil that I have?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's you guys have been down here for a good 3 or so hours at this point.
Okay, that's done.
Huh.
Just kid.
Oh, everyone's got their lanterns on. I should turn my lantern on.
Yeah, Sharut is gonna. Would a torch provide me a little extra heat?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
There's no real point in me lighting one then.
Yeah, like if you're using a torch for the express purpose of like I'm holding this fire close to myself to stay warm, that's one thing. But then like it's awkward. You know, you're a dual wielder who's taking up one of his hands in order to hold the torch. It's not going to provide all that much heat. It's not a campfire.
Okay. Yeah. That makes more than enough. I'm ready to continue forward if you guys are.
All right.
Sure.
Um,
What are we continuing to?
I think.
Oh, that's fine. Don't answer. It's fine.
I think we should continue south first. So southwest first. Can you hear me?
Yes, southwest. I don't know where we're going or why we're going.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Dendron, how did you hit your head?
I don't. I mean, I was face down when I. It's all a bit fuzzy. I remember we're in Star Alaska. We got into a fight yesterday morning, big one, and then nope.
Sharut squints at him, walks over, and motions him to kneel down again.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Takes off the helmet and inspects his head.
You're not really finding any signs of a concussion. I mean, that's kind of why he wears the helmet.
Sharut is confused. No sign of injury.
Puts the helmet back on.
Perhaps when fell on ice?
Maybe. I don't remember bunking my head though. What kind of ice was it?
Sharut
That was
motions to
Stygian
Zorak.
black ice. That was extra
Well,
planet.
that sounds special, I suppose.
You don't call it something other than just black ice if it's not just black ice, I would expect.
Oh, so what does that do then, Zeract? You're the planar expert.
It's not good. That's about the extent that I can tell you. Obviously, it's extremely cold, but it seems to have affected your mental capabilities to have drained something away from you as well.
Oh no, I think it's damaged, not drained. Drained is severely terrible, and I'd have talked to John Eric about throwing drain at a third level party without the restoration.
God damn it.
I'd have had harsh words for the GM. I don't
That
play
would-
that.
That would have been an ugly
Breaking
in a
the
good, bad, and
fourth wall
ugly scenario.
casually.
In a good, bad, or ugly scenario, it would be in the ugly category, I would say. What am I talking about? Where are we?
Sharut think fall may have had more effect on memory.
Remember, we did deliver Gruddock, though, so why are we...
Sharut
are we still in Star Alaska? Or are
Sharut
we?
puts both
Something
hands
about
on
Sydney?
Danzarin's cheeks and says,
We down in catacombs looking for Takani relics. Understand?
Ah, yes. Have we found any?
We have found some treasures, yes, but we are getting deeper into the holds. Must be wary, must have you focus, yes?
Yes, I will do my best to focus.
at his agreeing, he like double taps on his cheek and puts his hands down and continues onward.
When Shrewd double taps on your cheek, you get this like faint deja vu vision of sort of slipping and falling onto your cheek. It's more of like a tactile context thing that happens than anything. He taps you in sort of the same spot where it happens. So he taps you on the cheek and you get that image of you going like, ah! But that's it. It's real blurry and it happens real fast.
Oh no, I've got some kind of image in my head.
Day. Wrong order.
And with that, I think we can push onward.
Okay. Yeah, Delian, what you can see as you move to the southwest, like Sharut suggested, with your light, you can see to the end of this cave. There doesn't seem to be much of anything in here, honestly. You see a couple of rocks, and can you give me a perception check?
Sure can.
And you are able to see that some of the rocks over here, or at least they look like rocks. They have the same sort of shape, but you're realizing that some of them are cracked in such a way that these aren't rocks. These are things that look like rocks, and are sort of the same general shape as some of these rocks, but those are hollow.
So, like a potential hidey hole.
Not so much a hidey hole. Like I said, they look like rocks. They're just hollow.
Yeah.
Travis, you're might quiet.
How about that?
Well,
Much better.
you're louder now, and it's soothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
I feel comforted by your presence.
That's not the impression I was hoping to give, but I get it. Okay. So then I'll head over and just be like, all right, well, here's these rocks. There's nothing inside them. Fascinating. Well, nothing here. Let's go.
Good enough. Let's go.
Huh. I throw a piece of ice at the rocks.
Okay. You throw a piece of ice at the rocks.
Thunderous blows.
Man, that actually makes me wonder if you could do this as like a range. The blacksmith is a ranged thunder build.
That's a really interesting question.
Oh, that would be wicked.
What do you do? Oh, I'm the gunslinger that enters the fight and constantly shoots everyone else's gun.
So I can't do it with like a gun or a ranged weapon, but you can do it with thrown weapons like a returning hammer.
Interesting.
Throw your gun at them.
This,
Okay.
this sounds like a really good Thor build.
Would you like to know more?
Yes. So anyway, I pull out my gun and I sunder the shit out of him.
You're supposed to pull the trigger. No, I pistol whip them to death.
Just pistol whipping at 30 feet.
He's up on them hammers.
Hey, buddy.
There's a reason I carry a big iron on my hip.
So, anyways.
All right. So, yeah, you all reach a sort of an intersection. It's a T junction. Delian, you can see about 60 feet down both ways, and you are able to make out to the left. It seems like it's hitting not quite a dead end because you see that there's little passages off to the sides there, and to the right, it looks like it's hitting another intersection.
All right, Sharut. Which way?
Could I do either perception or a knowledge history to help me determine which way to go?
Knowledge history wouldn't really work. You don't know enough about this place. Honestly,
I do also have
survival. Survival's probably your best bet to see, like, not so much like recent tracks, but like to sort of judge the terrain kind of thing, if that makes sense.
I will attempt survival. That's a good roll.
All right. So you are able to kind of like look at the sort of track in the ground and see that the path to the left the path to the right, this one, has way more use over time than the path to
The path to the left.
Yeah.
So I should be able to.
This one is just like, if you're talking about sort of the smoothness of the stone on the ground, this one's smooth, like that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So it's not so much like recent footprints, whereas this is the wear and tear of many footfalls going back and forth across it.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, Sharut will point to the north.
Okay.
Okay. Then I continue to mosey on forward.
All right. Dillian, you get to a similar point once again once you're up here, where you're at that T intersection and you have a left and a right to go to.
I'll also do, because I'm I guess which way?
Can Sharut see that similar wear and tear of the stone?
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Would knowledge dungeoneering help here?
Actually, roll knowledge engineering. It will help potentially, but in a completely different context.
Cool.
Ooh, Dillian. Sharut, as you're coming up here and you're looking around, both of these ways have seen use. However, this way has seen use recently by something that is approximately human size, but does not always walk on its hind legs. You are reading that it has 2 legs that are 4-toed and extremely clawed, and 2 front arms that are very big and also extremely clawed. However, of the 2, even though this seems to be more recent, this seems to be more used.
Okay.
Delian, as you see Sharut sort of examining that, you think back to some of the books that you have stolen and read over the course of time, because that's how you get a lot of your knowledge. Like, break into a nice place, steal their shit, read their books.
Yeah.
Those are Umber Hulk tracks. They're not full-size Umber Hulk tracks, but they are Umber Hulk tracks.
I'm gonna go. I'm out.
So that you know what an Umber Hulk is, think of sort of like a humanoid beetle whose gaze confuses its prey. Its prey doesn't know how to react to the fact that the Umber Hulk is tearing you apart and eating you.
Jeez Louise.
But like I said, it's not a full-sized Umber Hulk, because those are only people-sized footprints.
I want to kind of like pull back from the session briefly to imagine John sitting on this map thinking, you know what'd be funny? Just before the Umber Hulk fight, ice that drains their wisdom score. Fucking amazing. Gotta do it. Just imagining the joy, this sudden smile suffusing his features, just spreading across his face, cracking the skin unfamiliar to such emotions. Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? You think that when I smile, my face bleeds?
Yeah, we do.
It's because those muscles don't get enough.
Oh
use,
man,
Johnny.
he never
Remember where
smiles,
he-
so when he laughs, his face explodes.
It's really just a horrid sight.
Yeah, we couldn't think of something more John Eric than his face being horrible when he smiles.
I've seen it smile a few times, and when I have, I've been terrified.
I've seen the sea beams glitter over the Tannhauser Gate, and the smile of John Eric.
Your face is effectively an Umber Hulk. It's fine.
So yeah, Dillian, you're able to see that and sort of put that information together, and kind of like confirm it with Sharut. Like, does that look like Umber Hulk footprints? So that you all know, I'll show it on the stream, but that's what an Umber Hulk looks like. They're not exactly pretty, but I like them. They look neat.
They are kind of amazing.
I'm not seeing a photo on the stream.
Well, I'm showing
Oh, there
it.
we go. There we go.
Thanks, Delane.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, what would you all like to do?
Well,
And there's also the question. There's also the question of Dillian and Sharut. Do you tell the rest of the group?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I feel like Deline and Sharut look at each other because this thing is obviously larger than both of them, and it's just like,
Tell tall people, yes?
Tall people. Is that what you've been
Nah,
calling them the
they'll
whole
be
time?
fine.
Yeah. We'll tell the rest of the party
Okay.
instead of tall people. I don't know if that'll fly.
So-
so yeah, we'll share the information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys. Have you seen an Umber Hulk before?
No, I'm alive, aren't I?
With you, I'm not so sure what alive is.
Sharut
damn it, I
also
didn't wanna think
unable
about
to
that.
tell.
But anyways, Umber Hulk, really bad bug-like thing. These apparently aren't full size, but they're here and they confuse you, and then they devour you. It's not a way I want to go.
Yeah.
So-
No,
Yeah,
no,
that
that sounds
just-
terrible.
yeah.
that
Just sit with
sounds
that
wild.
information for a bit.
Umber Hulks,
Sounds like a wildly inappropriate.
Umber
to
Hulks
do.
wander in this direction.
And Sharut points towards the northeast hallway.
This
But-
place is a death trap.
Yeah, sure is.
But more use, older use in this direction.
And Sharut points to the northwest.
Okay. So are you going to avoid the Umber Hulk fight and go to the northwest?
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that garbage.
I
Why
don't
would I wanna
understand
do that?
why, but I'll accept it.
Yeah,
Look-
I thought we wanted to clear every room just
do-
in case
we
something
do.
came from behind us.
We do.
Well, no, he's got a point. Let's go.
All right, let's do
Sure,
this.
it's like,
Do caves have room?
Zract, as you're like, well, obviously we go the path that that was used less recently. Zract is gonna pause for just a second and say, if that one's a tiny one, it probably came from
Has parents somewhere.
it. Well, what if it doesn't because something ate them, and that's why there's no traffic in that direction? I realize I'm just theorizing here, but
Sharud explains that the wear and tear on the ground that he's seeing is more of like higher traffic, higher older traffic than it is.
I think my point stands, but it's fair.
Or is this is an argument on not to go to the northwest or to
It's
the
like going to the northwest may actually be the worst option, but we can try it.
Okay.
From his survival check, did he see anything like that? Any indication like that?
Any indication of what?
Of something much bigger traversing the north west.
What you got from your survival check is what I told you.
I think we're fine to go northwest.
All right. So,
Well, hey there.
so as a group, you guys sort of do this thing. You continue on, sort of bypassing a couple of little divots or tunnels out of this main thoroughfare, and you enter eventually into a longer cave that is just far more of a long and not exactly straight, but mostly straight stretch through the earth. And then you are eventually brought out
Done on a token. Oh, there it is. Okay.
here.
Whoa. Cool.
Where'd the other half of everyone go?
A lot of people are stacked on top of each other.
Shall
They're
we throw them
multiplying.
over a bridge?
Oh, sorry. As I have to configure this so that you can actually see it.
Ooh. Oh.
Whoa.
As soon as you
Oh, that's so cool.
as soon as you come out, you're able to see this thing happen where bits and pieces of the ice reflect the light that Delian and Zeract have, and the reflections cause reflections, which cause reflections, which cause reflections, and eventually this entire thing is lit by sort of a faint glow. It's not bright. It's not enough for most surface worlders to really be able to get by, but you can at least see the outlines of buildings enough to tell you that this is the city. This is Ul Sharak, and that you have reached the actual seat of Prednus Caldurs, and that you have reached the city of Spearhold.
Ooh, this is
am-
where we're gonna die.
I
All
am
right, this was worth it.
fucking stoked. I'm so stoked.
And with that, I think we'll stop for the night. So thanks to everybody for joining us, and please join us next week, where I have all the Umberhawks chase them across the bridge.
Well,
It will be fun for at least one of us, and I'm counting me in that number. So
I'll have fun. It's fine. I love Umberhawks.
thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.
That's a